Hello, welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT, or you can refer to me as Miss T. I know some of y'all was waiting to get in. I seen a lot of y'all, but I'm not sure what was going on. It wouldn't let me sign in. So I had to go back out, recreate a new broadcast, and I couldn't tell you what's going on. Also, on my grown woman talk, I'm gonna have to stay away from the videos or the whatever, the songs. What I'm gonna do is edit the broadcast and take that portion out and try to repost it. But I noticed, like, let's say, just throwing a number out. Let's say I had 100 views every day that was going past in these last couple of days. It became 98, 96, 95. It was just going down. Don't know why. Someone told me also that my notifications were not coming through. I don't know, but just so y'all know, to all my Facebookers, I do watch you guys. I go back into Facebook and see you guys after the show. I really don't do it while I'm doing the show. Take a little time, and I'm just not at that point where I'm going using both back and forth. I'm doing so much just on this side. Um, but I will always tell you guys, come into YouTube, find Boxing Fans Talk TV, click the live icon. It'll be red. You can't miss it in the corner of a thumbnail. Click that one, and then you're in here. So I had a whole bunch of people ready to go, and it wouldn't even let me sign in. My show, Monday through Friday, starts at 7:30. That's 1930 military time. For those of you who go by different times, 1930 or 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's Eastern Standard Time. So you guys can come in there. Like I say, in YouTube, it's better for you to come that way. That way I can see you. I can shout you out. Um, I usually have the phone lines open. This thing is like this StreamYard for me is real tricky, especially depending on what device you get. I'm not making no excuses. I'm gonna make it do what it do. But anywho, I'm here. Don't know what just happened, but shout outs to everybody who was already in. Um, posting y'all chats. I saw that. So I guess you'll come back in and say, you were here so I could shout you out. But anyway, it was a great weekend for fights. Let's turn to. Okay, so we back. I'm looking at it on Facebook, and it's got the thumbnail of the table is set, and so I had to change the name and everything. Devin Haney is on his way. I hope that I don't have two broadcasts going. So I don't know. Shit. I don't know. I really don't know. This is gonna be a weird outing today. It would not let me in that. Let me see. Let me actually. I'm gonna go to another thing and see if that's still up because it said it was deleted. Yeah, it was deleted. Let me see. Um, yeah, it was ended. Delete it because it was ended. Okay, let me see what that do. Hopefully, you guys still with me. Okay, you still with me, but if you were in the thumbnail that said the table is set, y'all need to mosey on over here. I don't know. I can't tell you what happened, but just so y'all know that my show is Monday through Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's Eastern Standard Time. So if you're not getting notifications or anything like that, it's not me, y'all. It's not me. I don't know what happened today. Henley in the building was popping king. Good evening, Miss T. And the chat, I'm here. Roger that. Henley in the building. Um, so yeah, just y'all remember that those are the times they set in stone for me. Okay. Let's get into it. So Teofimo had a bad night, of course, Saturday. I gotta start off with this fight. It's it was kind of crazy. I was one of them people who believed that Teofimo was gonna easily win. I know he has some tremendous odds like in his favor, like 13-1 or something like that. I don't know nothing about that. I bet it one time at the Wilder fight and I shall never do it again. But I just knew he was going to win. I didn't think of it like he's going to blow through George Camboso. But I didn't think George was that formidable of an opponent, probably against Tank, against Devin. We can go down the list of 135s. I don't think George could beat them. Um, but George had the heart that night. He had his heart on display, and he won't letting T.O. do shit with it. You know what I'm saying? He wanted it more. You know when they say at the end of the fight, when they're like, who wanted it more? He wanted it more. Um, if they'd have called it a draw, I wouldn't have been mad because as the fight was going on, I was like, this shit looked like a draw. Demetrius Bright is in the building. Salute Queen T. They said you were starting at 6 p.m. Central Time. The Macus, Docious Mac of the South was here waiting too. So look, you got 68 answers. This is my 11th one, so it'll be 88 when I'm done. Yes, Demetrius, and if the Macadocious Mac of the South hear me, then you guys listen. I come on at 7:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. I don't know, I'm not Central Time, Cali time, whatever. I know Cali is like 3 hours behind us. I'm on Eastern Standard Time. Um, my mom told me, actually the first person that told me that my time for the show was just way off. Y'all just know Miss T gonna be here at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't even care what Waldo say. I don't care what YouTube and them say. That's the time that I'm coming on. And so y'all just remember that. And then I end it when I think it's appropriate to end. I don't have no set time to end. Some days it'll be long, some days it'll be short. I appreciate y'all sticking with me and coming through. So, like I said about this, and I apologize if y'all came in too and was waiting. I've never started at 7, so I don't know why YouTube is doing that. I don't know what's going on. My grown woman talk was affected Friday. They deleted it. That's crazy, right? So, but I saved it so I can go in and take out what they didn't like and then repost it. And it's pretty much the video. So we're gonna dispense with the videos of songs and shit because apparently they don't like it. I can't talk over. I can't do nothing. I just feel like at this point, other people can do videos. I just can't. So I'm gonna let it go. But back to this fight. I knew or felt I knew that T.O. was gonna win. T.O., I haven't written him off just yet. He do seem like he has some inside problems. I do think he did not prepare for this fight. I think the layoffs and the changing of venues and all the crap that went on with trying to even get this fight put on TV or happen um, affected him. He should have fought him July 19th or whatever that. I mean June 19th. Now T.O. said he had COVID, so I guess we gotta take him at his word. Hold on, hold tight. Coach G is trying to get at me. Oh no, let me send him this link. Mm, I know Coach anxious to get in. Let me text him and say. Just sent. So, yeah, Coach G might be joining us momentarily. Demetrius said T.O. is done physically and mentally. His wife is divorcing him, and his newborn baby may not be his. What? Ooh. Well, those are things that could play on a person's mind. I can't knock him or, down him for that. That's his personal business. He, to me, because I've seen a lot of clips of him, he didn't seem like he tried to bleed it into boxing, but it would definitely bleed into boxing. But I like to stay in my own business on that one. What him and his wife do behind closed doors, unless they become idiots with it. You know what I'm saying? At 140, Josh Taylor reaches pro grades and Gary Antoine is waiting. Yes, they are. T.O. is a good fighter. Now, I've heard a lot of people say what he probably should do going forward, and I agree. I agree that he needs to level up, level up, level up, level up in my Sierra voice, upgrade, upgrade in my Beyonce voice. He needs to do those things, and starting with his dad. That's a toxic environment, and nothing good really gonna come from it because clearly you can see yet again another dad living vicariously through their son. That's never good. You had your life. Everybody gets to be whatever age they are for 1 year, just like everybody else. Nobody gets more time at 21 than the next person. So I see Coach G trying to come in. But yeah, T.O., he messed up this weekend. I don't think he prepared himself. Coach G in the building was popping, King.
What's happening? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I thought you'd have been busy. Yeah.
You got
But Coach
jokes.
G,
Yeah.
everybody keeps saying that the timing of my show, the way I listed to come on, is not accurate. So I had let everybody know at 7:30, 1930 military time, every day, Monday through Friday, is when I will start my show. You know, only way I won't start the show is if I'm sick or some kind of technical difficulty. I already made a thumbnail to start this show. I went into it to open it up and it was deleted. So I had to go back
Mm-hmm.
out and recreate a broadcast just to even get in. I can't tell you what's going on. I don't know if it's conspiracy. I think Al Heyman had something to do with it.
Nah, not
I'm
Al.
gonna blame it on Al.
Nah.
So
Mm-mm.
Demetrius said now T.O. posted a pic of himself at a hospital lying on a hospital bed with a cast for his alleged elbow injury. T.O. going through some stuff. And boxing is one of them things it's one of the things you don't want to be stressed about. It's like if you're a lawyer and you got a big case tomorrow, that ain't the time for you and your significant other to be getting into it, whether it's a female lawyer or male lawyer. That's why I say it like that. To be getting into it when that person needs some proper rest or whatever, if you got anything that takes concentration and paying attention to detail, you don't need all this outside whatever. And I'm not making excuses for T.O., but if Demetrius, what you said is going on, that would make sense because I don't think he was prepared or anything for this fight. I don't think that George Kambosos took the fight from the champion. I don't. I think he was a better boxer that night. I don't think he outboxed T.O. I think T.O. was the aggressive one. I think T.O. hit the more powerful punches. I think T.O.'s knockdown was better. Having said all that, George Camboso held on, and you could tell he was holding on. I take nothing from him, but if it would have came out a draw, I wouldn't have been mad. They was going if it edged out either way, I wouldn't have been mad. But so I'm not mad at the decision. But coach, you want to cook on that the Teofimo and George Camboso fight? Did you see it?
He got just what he deserved.
do tell.
Now he got to eat some humble pie. I'm so glad that he got that. And maybe now we can get a unified champion. Kambosa is already calling out Devin Haney.
Yeah.
He's saying he wants to fight. That's what I care about. The ones that don't want to fight, the ones that duck and dodge, I'm glad they get whipped and they leave and they go about their business. Like, we don't need them kind of guys. They're destroying the sport of boxing. But Kambosa, the first thing come out of his mouth is he want Devin Haney. Hey, that's what we want. Devin Haney should have been got his opportunity with Lomo. Lomo bypassed him and then got beat by T.O. Then T.O. bypassed him. I mean, how many guys, we're going to keep letting these guys keep doing it. We finally get somebody in there that's saying that he wants to fight. Well, they all be saying that in the beginning. We're going to have to wait and see what's going to happen. But he's talking the right stuff right now.
Listen, I'm a Devin Haney fan. So I don't want y'all to take this the wrong way when I say this. Yes, I think Lomachenko and a lot of people duck Devin Haney. That's true. And they still, up until this day, in my Deontay voice, they've been ducking Devin Haney. When it comes to T.O., though, with Devin Haney, and Devin Haney's problem with getting an opponent, I think we can't lay it all at T.O.'s feet. Why? Because Devin Haney could have fought a lot of people that were, they might not have had a household name. They won't probably the top 5, but Devin Haney has had some low moments in his career. He could have been fighting Isaac Cruz. He could have been fighting a lot of people. I know y'all don't know Isaac Cruz. Y'all will know him this weekend. And if he don't crumble on the lights, he gonna be on your tongue. He gonna be in your mind. But there's a lot of people that Devin could have fought that probably would have jumped at the chance of taking a fight. But he only wanted what he wanted. And I mean, I'm just being fair. That's what it appeared like, whether it's true or not. It just looked like that. D-Ray said, #blame Al. Salute Miss T. Damn right. Al shut my shit down. Demetrius Bright said, salute and blessings. Salute at D-Ray and blessings. Kambosos won that fight hands down. Wasn't that close. Did you see T.O.'s face after that fight? He got cut in the later rounds.
He was beat up.
Won the hands down. What you say, Coach?
I said he was beat up, black and blue.
They both were beat up. I don't think he took it from him, Coach.
Supreme.
He did. Now I ain't gonna say outbox him. He boxed that night. T.O. did not. So I won't say he outboxed T.O. He was a better boxer that night. I don't think he took it from him though. You don't think so, Coach?
From what I saw, and I had to rewatch it on YouTube because I watched the other fight.
Cool Boy Sepp.
Yeah, that's the fight I watched. The one you was talking about so much. Figueroa.
Yeah.
That's the fight I was watching. But from what I saw, man, it was a close fight.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What I saw, it was a real close fight. And looked like Teofimo got hurt.
I don't think he was in shape. I really don't. That ain't no excuse because you had your date.
This fight been pushed back and pushed back. Man, he had so much time to be prepared for this guy. He should have been extra prepared for this guy. Unless
I don't give him no excuse. He had his date. He knew it was coming, and he wasn't prepared. I don't think he was in shape. I think he took it too lightly. You know how they said we don't never overlook a fighter. Oh, you did this time, and you got your ass handed to you.
I don't think
But
he really wanted to fight this dude anyway.
yeah, I think the novelty had worn off.
Yeah,
Demetrius
he
Bryce out. Oh, go ahead.
Go
Go ahead,
ahead.
coach.
Oh, no, I was just saying that I think he's overrated any damn way. I think he's overrated. I never really saw what everybody else saw outside just his punching power. He had punching. If he can land that right hand, he can get you out of there. But if he can't land the right hand, he really don't have too much else he can do. That's why he couldn't catch Lomachenko. Lomachenko was running from him for 7 rounds, and he couldn't figure out how to land his punches. He just followed behind him, followed behind him, followed behind him. Loved Lomachenko just run until Lomachenko decided he was tired of running. And then he started fighting. And at that point, he actually started beating Teofimo up.
See, I saw it differently. I think it was more counter punching or counter action from T.O. in the Loma fight for at least the first 6 or 7 rounds. But hold on. Demetrius said, I honestly believe that Shakur will fight Kambosos before Haney if he gets by Jojo Diaz. Yeah, we don't know what Jojo gonna bring to the table. Tanaya Marie was popping queen. Welcome to the channel. She said, love seeing a sister on her boxing tips. Salute. Thank you for coming in and supporting. I love it too. I want a lot of sisters to get in here and speak their piece because I started the channel to attract sisters. I want the men too. I want y'all too. Y'all are just as important. But thank you for coming in, Tanaya Marie. PGA's big dog is in the building. Was popping king. And D-Ray said, looked like a draw to me, but I'm glad Karma beat Lopez. See, coach, that's the thing. T.O. got cocky and he got conceited. He got arrogant and he fell back, and whatever it took to get him there, I think that T.O. is a better boxer than Kambosos. I think Kambosos is a dog. I think Kambosos really don't got no quit in him, and that's good for him. But I don't think Kambosos hit hard. I think he knows his fundamentals and he knows how to box. And he was a better boxer. He didn't outbox T.O. He was a better boxer. He had as much success as T.O. gave him. It was T.O.'s fight to lose, and he lost it because he came unprepared. He came with that arrogance. His daddy was lying to him. What you think about that, coach, in the corner?
Well,
what his daddy was saying.
You're saying that it wasn't what Kambosos did as much as what Teofimo didn't do.
I say that, yeah.
He gave the fight away, you think?
I think if the T.O. who fought all them people before would have showed up in this fight, the fight would be different. I don't know how different. I ain't gonna say T.O. would have watched him now that I've seen Kambosos perform, but before the fight, I was like, oh, T.O. gonna beat him easy. I just thought so. I'm a fan of T.O. He a young boy. Some of the, I look at him like an older person, look at a young person. Like a lot of shit he say and do is so unnecessary. But what I will say, he got some humble pie, just like you said. You remember when he got up there with Canelo, with all his belts after Canelo fight, and Canelo didn't even validate that he was,
because he's missing one. He's missing the WBC.
Exactly.
That franchise don't count.
Exactly. But you know what? And y'all gonna be like, Miss T, God damn. T.O., it can't be all T.O. fault because that's what they were saying in his ear. You know what I'm saying? That's what they was feeding. It wasn't just his daddy telling him that. It was the powers that be, whoever they may be, was telling him he's undisputed. And he took it and ran instead of using his common sense. He a grown man, so he got to be held accountable.
Well, Lomachenko was saying the same shit.
That's if they go by what the powers that be.
But
now they got their knight in shiny armor, which is Canelo. They don't need no. I'm telling you, all y'all other Latinos is gonna become insignificant, and this is why you don't allow the BS to go down in boxing and all this stupid narratives. Because look you might not be the favor. Even amongst your own group, you might not catch favor. And you don't want to catch favor. You just want to earn everything that you get. But they got Canelo now. They don't need no another Latino to be the big dog. He ain't gonna share the stage with nobody else.
Right.
You feel me? PGA's
Right.
big dog said Cambosos dominated that fight. Glad they didn't rob him. T.O. was never that great.
See, he got a lot of people hating on him now, boy. People
Yeah,
waiting on
he
him to
do.
slide and
He
mess up.
do.
You know.
I wouldn't go that far,
But
PGAs, but I hear you. I wouldn't go that far though. I think T.O. is a good fighter. Now
he's a good fighter, but he's overrated.
he has to make a grown man decision, and he got to get his daddy. You know, his daddy can be in his life as his dad. That's his dad. But as a trainer, no, it's too close for comfort. You know, you gotta sit down, go concentrate on somebody else. Because sometimes people can take you but so far, right, coach? And then somebody else has to take you further, right?
That's true.
Yeah, and that's the situation with T.O. I'm glad and I'm not. I like T.O. I don't dislike T.O. But I'm glad at the implications of this fight, what it means for Devin Haney. Demetrius Bryce said Cambosos had that dog and months of built up anger that he channeled productively and whipped T.O.'s butt for someone who can't punch. T.O.'s face visibly showed difference. I really think that dude won't prepare. T.O. was moving real funny after the upset Loma. After the upset Loma line about Undisputed dropping N words and Dev and Trill too damn cocky. Y'all got to think this is a high pressure job. This for big stakes. The boy is 24, 25. I'm not making no excuse. I'll say it for Devin. I'll say it for all of them. It takes a mature mind to soak all this shit in. So you got to be
But
cognitive of who you bring around you. Because you
it's
might
okay
not
for his dad to
lose.
be.
Yeah. Go ahead, coach.
It's okay for his dad to be that way. What's the other guy who dad is worse than him? Garcia,
Porter. Who?
Garcia daddy.
You think he worse?
He way worse. Way
Mm.
worse. He drop N bombs all day long. He cuss everybody out. He act like he be high a lot of times at the press conferences. You see, Danny Garcia daddy.
For years, y'all used to see Danny be all quiet.
Danny be quiet, but his dad talk all the shit like he fighting. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it's just part of the game, man. And I won't even say that T.O.'s dad couldn't take him further. I mean, because as far as he got him there within what 13 fights. He had like 13 fights
Mm-hmm.
and won the world
Till I think it
championship.
only got more than that. He had 16 at Loma.
It wasn't that many. He only had a few fights.
I
He
think he
got
had
that.
17 now.
He got him pretty quickly,
Mm-hmm.
and his dad got him there. I mean, it could be something else going on inside their camp, or it could be just Cambosa. It could be just that fighter that got some type of edge on him that took him out of his character, took him out of his game. I don't know, but I'm glad he don't have them belts no more. I'm happy about
Well,
that.
we know that he has a toxic relationship with his dad by his own admission. Demetrius dropped the bomb like they're saying he had at home problems, domestic problems. Not that he's fighting. Let me be clear. He's not hitting his wife, but it's like him and his wife ain't seeing eye to eye. Maybe she want to leave. All that stuff play a part. You don't need to be thinking like that or thinking about shit like that when you get in the ring. When I say sometimes people can take you to a certain level and then you got to upgrade them or trade them in, it could be stuff when it comes to training. It could be stuff outside of training. It doesn't matter. You know,
I
the
agree with
mental
you.
stability of the fighter must come first. And anybody who's disrupting that gotta go.
I agree,
Yeah.
100%.
Demetrius Bright said T.O.'s dad is toxic and needs to be removed if T.O. is to do a 180. I agree. PGA's Big Dog said T.O. needs to get another trainer. His racist daddy had no adjustments for him in the corner, no game plan for Cambosos. I agree. He said nothing. He was terrible in the corner. T.O. tried to outdo Floyd Mayweather. Now he might understand hard work and dedication and sacrifices need to be
Exactly.
made
Exactly.
excuse me, to classify as the best. Now, look, speaking of Floyd, y'all remember the time when Floyd was going off on his dad? My first mind was like, That's your dad. Calm down, young man. That is your dad. But Floyd knew what he was talking about. His dad know what they got their dynamics in their relationship. But Floyd was basically saying, I'm a man, god damn it. Back the fuck off. I'm doing me. You following me. This is my career. You had the same opportunities to do your career. Now we doing my career. That's how I took all of that. In retrospect, when I look back at it, I didn't agree with the disrespect, but that's, I guess it needed to happen for Floyd Sr. to look at his son like, hey, you are a grown man. My reign over you is done. So, some we can look at it and scarf at it, but maybe this is what a lot of these daddy boys, as Keith Thurman called them, need to do. Eric Gomez is in the building, of course, with the bomb squad. And he said, Boxing Fan Talks TV, bless you, Miss T, bless you, sir. D Ray, but to outfit was nice, but T.O.'s outfit was nice. Yeah, it was nice. It was. It was nice. I was like, oh, look at him, a gladiator. He was winded right in the beginning, coach. Did you see him breathing with his mouth open and shit? I never seen T.O. like that. So I
Now
know
he's in
that
the
was.
hospital.
Hmm.
Now
What you
he's in the
say?
hospital taking pictures.
Yeah, that was somebody said. You know what? Sometimes the stars line up and shit get balanced out. I'm looking at it for the implications for Devin Haney. Now, coach, what you got to say about that? Like, you go ahead and set the table. What you thinking going forward? He don't got those belts. What's gonna happen?
Who are you talking about? Devin Haney
T.O. don't
versus.
got those belts no more. George got the belts. George act like he wanted Haney, but what, talk about it from the perspective of what Devin Haney need to do.
Just keep doing what he been doing. I mean, I don't see no more than what he can do. You can't make people fight you. He's calling everybody out, and we all know Devin Haney loved to fight. I mean, the kid is well known around. If you watch anything about boxing, Devin Haney is one of those guys who's a gym rat, who loves to fight. That's all he want to do is a chance to show his skills.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we also know these Hispanic guys have been dodging the African American fighters. I don't know. I'm
Mm-hmm.
hoping Cambosa is a little bit different, and he
Go
really
ahead.
follows through with this fight with Devin Haney. That being said, he can't beat Devin Haney. T.O. can't beat Devin Haney. He couldn't beat Lomachenko. Lomachenko really didn't do shit for 7 rounds, but move around, move around, move around, move around. He really ain't do nothing. um, so that
You
lateral
just
movement
said
is a
that
huge
differently.
problem. That lateral movement is a huge problem for Teofimo Lopez because he should not have been able. Lomo shouldn't be able to dance around him for 7 rounds like that, untouched. He's pretty much untouched for 7 rounds. He's gonna have
That's
problems with
that
Devin Haney.
has But that has more to do with what T.O. did to him. Lomo would do what he normally do, but he couldn't. So that has to do with T.O. answering the call, outbesting him, and whatever Lomo, like denying him
But he
his
couldn't make an
abilities.
adjustment to you got a man running from you, which he pretty much was running from him. Like I know y'all say y'all like me running. Lomachenko
Out.
didn't want contact at all. He didn't want no contact in the first 6, 7 rounds. But
Mm-hmm.
that's when you his opponent, you supposed to cut that ring off and make him fight. You know what I'm saying? This way you come in as a champion and make him fight. Don't allow him to run like that. That how Canelo did Plant. Plant didn't
Mm-hmm.
come in to have no full contact. He came in to move. But Canelo kept cutting that ring off and forcing him to exchange in the clinches, in the trenches. When we get close together, we're gonna bang right here. I'm going to your body. That's all he had to do. He don't have that in him. I don't see him having been able to answer. I haven't seen him make no adjustments. I see him get lucky and catch people with big shots and knock them out. But I want to see him. I don't see him outboxing Shakur or Devin Haney. No way, no how. I see them by winning by a landslide, not knocking him out, but by just outboxing him easily.
T.O. can box. He do know the fundamentals when he on. But it's his power that make them stay home. So it's something that he's doing that make them not be able to do what they doing, and that you just never know how that's gonna play out in the grand scheme of things as far as you know what the outcome could be. It is something that Teal is doing. Demetrius Bright said that's what Porter should have done to Kenny in his career. his career might have ended dramatically better. Eric Gomez said, "Laugh aloud. That was nice outfit, suited and booted. For that, Ken of whoop ass. I know what you're trying to say, King. Bob really lost another Beverly Hills house." Demetrius said, "Haney better take JoJo Diaz seriously. Don't look beyond him, and he better be 100% focused. This is the year of the upsets. Would be sad day in boxing if Devin gets caught by JoJo." Yeah, that fight is coming up this weekend, Coach. What you think?
He gonna beat JoJo ass. Ain't nobody beating Shakur and Devin Haney no time soon, man. No time soon.
No time soon.
No time soon. Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Tank Davis. Don't look for them boys to lose no fights no time soon. They're being ducked for a reason.
I don't know. Tank and Devin got that fight this weekend. JoJo
Tank
ain't no
finna beat the hell
pushover.
out of
I
that
got
boy. Tank finna beat the hell out of Pitbull. It's a mismatch. It's not even a close fight. You're gonna see. It's a mismatch. Pitbull finna get his ass wore out.
You know, all
Come
year
straight
we've been
forward, that
thinking.
flat foot forward style. Huh?
All year we've been like, oh, this gonna happen and that gonna happen. And it been like upsets. Like we thought Pacquiao was gonna beat Ugas easy. No, he didn't. We thought Deontay was gonna win. No, he didn't. People thought I don't really care about AJ, but people thought
Who
AJ
thought
was gonna
Deontay
win.
was
No,
gonna
he
win?
didn't.
Who thought Deontay was gonna win?
I did. Coach, we gonna move past Deontay. This Deontay country here.
I thought you were saying like for me too. I didn't pick them fights that way.
Collectively, we thought a lot of stuff, but then it's like because it was like a forlorn conclusion. You like, oh yeah, this gonna happen, and it didn't happen. I agree with you that the better boxer will always pretty much um catch the favor or win the fight, however we want to put it. But that's not always true. It's not always true.
Right.
So we basically know what happened with T.O. He wasn't prepared. I don't give a damn about what he had in his personal life. He knew the date, as Coach said. The date been moved and moved and moved. He knew it was coming. He should have came in there prepared. He shouldn't have overlooked George Camboso. And for me, I say George was the better boxer that night. I won't say he outboxed him, and I don't think he took it from the champ. But he did better, and I'm not mad at the decision. I wouldn't be mad if it was a draw. I think Coach, you want to reiterate what you're saying though, because it's a little slightly different from what I'm saying, and then we're gonna move to the next. Coach,
can you hear me?
Oh, now we hear you.
I said, what were you saying? What are you asking me?
I said, I'm gonna move to the next, but I told my conclusion of the TO thing. Your conclusion was what? And we're gonna move to the next.
My conclusion on what?
TO and Cambosos.
Oh, no, I really wasn't even into that fight like that, man. The parts that I saw was on YouTube. I really don't have anything else to say about the fight. I'm just glad it's over with. I want to see what's next because I'm not a fan of Teofimo. Once you start that what you call it, man?
Fugazi back talking and
yeah, he's a diva. You know what I'm saying? Once you start acting like that, I got my baby in here. Once you start acting like that, I can't deal with it. I can't. I pass him up.
I feel you. You a no nonsense person. Coach believe in the true science of boxing, and that's how it should be. It should be. Now, we're gonna move on to the Cool Boy Step show. I know you saw that one. Go ahead and cook, Coach. What you saw?
The first time I don't watch it more than the first time I watched it, I kind of was leaning more towards Figueroa the first time. I'll say it could have been a draw. It was a very close fight. But then I watched it again, and I agree with them that Fulton won the fight just by a little bit, man. Just by a little bit, he pulled it off with the clean. He did do the clean, effective boxing, clean. Like, all his shit was smooth. You can clearly see his punches landing. It wasn't sloppy. And I'm gonna favor him a little bit more anyway because I love that. I love boxers. I love the ones who do it right. Figueroa is such an ugly fighter, man, and he throw away a lot of punches. He was throwing a lot of punches and they wasn't landing. But then I also have the fact that how big he is. Like he said that win, lose, or draw, that was his last fight in that division. He's too big. He's way. You see how much bigger he was than Fulton?
Mm-hmm.
He's a lot bigger, man, and we're not getting the right fights because these guys are not. They have weight classes for a reason, and I just hope we need a petition, man. We need to start something to go back to where they weigh in and fight on the same damn day. Because I'm tired of these weight bullies. These guys are so big, and they you say, oh, they're a great fighter, great, but they're beating up on guys that they outweigh by 20 pounds. You know what I'm saying? That's not a fair fight.
I've been saying that for a long time, Coach. Probably not every day, but I feel you on that. Like a fighter like not to bring other fighters into the mix, but Casemiro exemplifies what you just said so perfectly. This dude is fighting at 118, but he come in the ring damn near welterweight.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? I feel what you're saying.
That's not giving that opponent, like, that was a tough battle for Fulton, dealing with that size, that weight, pushing him around and laying on him and punching on him. And that just show how tough that little dude is, that he weathered the storm of all of that. And at times he even pushed Figueroa back on the ropes and was mauling him. And I was like, so just imagine if it was a more equal fight in weight. If the guy was more closer to Fulton's side, he could have really been devastating in the fight. He would have really looked more superior in the fight. But when you give up that much size, height, weight, reach, and advantage to your opponent, it makes the fight very difficult. So with all that said, I think Fulton won the fight.
Me and you thinking the same thing because I think them last couple of rounds edged them out because you could tell who was the better boxer. You could, if you want to say he was a better boxer that night, you can also say he outboxed him because I don't call hardly anything that Figueroa did boxing. I call it mauling and brawling. And I see what you mean when you said you ain't like them guys. The thing I like about them, that dude tough as hell. He don't quit. He constantly throw punches. He don't give a damn how he get hit. But yeah, he young too. And tell me how that work out when he get close to 30, because we can already see how that work out. Look at his brother.
We're gonna see before that. He moving up to what's the name? What division was that?
That was 122. I think he moving up to with Mr. Gary Russell Jr.
126.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now he moving up to guys more close to his size. He's such an easy person to hit. Let's see how he do now fighting guys closer to his size. You're gonna see a difference. Let him fight Mr. Gary Russell and let him get punched out of his goddamn head by Gary and see how he take them same shots. It's gonna be a different ball game as you start moving up and fighting closer to your size, fighting guys your size. They all look good fighting them midgets, fighting somebody way too small for them. Mm-hmm. But as they move up and you start fighting guys that can take your punishment, that is just as big and strong as you, hit harder than you, now we get to see what you made out of. And all you are is a punching bag. That's all I see him as. Everything you throw at him, you hit him with it. Like, he catch punches with his face, his body. He's just so concerned with hitting you that he don't really care about getting hit himself. That ain't gonna work out for him too well.
So you saying because he's so much bigger than the other folks that maybe their hit ain't strong enough to hurt him, but if he get in there with somebody really his own size, somebody he should be fighting, when they hit him with their power shots, it's gonna mean something different.
It's gonna be a difference. It could be a difference if somebody like Gary was punching him side of the damn head. Who else in that division?
Max Sayo.
What's the ain't no Nito? Not no Nito. Who else is there?
There's a whole lot of people there.
Is he in? He around there somewhere, right?
No Nito. I want to say he up there or maybe right above it slightly. I don't know. No Nito maybe still doing 122.
Rigondeaux. What division is Rigondeaux in?
Rigondeaux was at 120, 118. He just, Rigondeaux got up as high as 122, but I think his last fight was 118. Casemiro.
Okay. Well, he lucky with he in the Rigo. But when he fights somebody that can really punch, up there in his weight class. Now he done moved up again. You're gonna see, and he ain't gonna be able to stay there. He's a big bone guy. He's a big guy. He's gonna move up again. He going to 126, and he probably gonna move up again after that if he don't get the hell beat out of him at 126.
He got the weirdest stomach, like he missing a rib or something. That's just
Yeah,
something
he look
I know.
weird.
That be like, huh?
I don't like nothing about them dudes.
It's something about, but I don't
Nothing. I
like. I don't
never
call what he
did.
do boxing. I just don't.
Mm-hmm.
He used his head, and oh, somebody said Chocolatito and Estrada. Whoa. Well, I know they got a fight coming up. So you saying they at 126? I don't remember what weight class they was at. But
Yeah.
Figueroa uses his head. I don't like anybody who uses their head in boxing to how much he use. I understand sometimes it could get in the way, but he lays his head on you like he's kind like you say he's bigger, he's taller, and then he got them long ass arms. Now, did you notice that the ref took away his rabbit punches? Because
Punch
he
him behind
does
the
that a
head.
lot.
Well, Figueroa.
Yeah.
Yeah, he be trying to hit you. He won't hit you so bad, he hit you anywhere. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But he got outboxed. The other dude outboxed him, man. I'm so glad the little dude, especially after watching his backstory, I learned some things about him I didn't know about him. And he talked about his mom, buying his mom a house, and his dad gave
Mm-hmm.
him the gift of boxing out of prison. And I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I
He
I,
had
I
a good
like the
story.
dude. Hmm.
He had a good story. Now let's talk about this sore loser shit. I call it the night of the sore loser because not only was Tio a sore loser, so was Brandon. What you think of that?
Yeah, Brandon was a sore loser. He making excuses and getting the crowd involved, and like I said, the first time I watched it, I kind of felt like he won a little bit the
Mm-hmm.
first time I watched it, but then I went back and watched it again, and it was just different.
Well, I would say that some hits that Brandon hit him with, it seemed like it bothered him. I don't know if it was because it was painful or was it because it was confusing. He's hard to figure out. He's a rugged, awkward fighter, true, but he's a dirty fighter. He grabbed him by the neck and tried to choke. I mean, I was looking at all of that, and I understand when you're in boxing, things like that can happen. But to continually keep doing it, I'm gonna lose all respect for you because I want to see you go toe to toe with somebody and box them. Use your boxing skill. You could be rugged a little bit, but not to the point that you're using dirty tactics continuously. Did you see that, Coach?
The dirty stuff.
Yeah, from
Yeah, I
Brandon.
saw it. Yeah, he
I
was
didn't
dirty.
see.
I seen him. I did see him fighting. You didn't see him fighting dirty?
I did. Yeah, I saw Brandon fight dirty. I didn't
Yeah.
hardly see Cool Boy fight dirty.
No. That's not his. That's not. He can beat you. He got skills. Skilled fighters are rarely doing that dirty shit. It's usually guys that's like not that skilled. Those barbaric, robotic type fighters, brawlers. They're the ones that have to do that because they don't have no other answers. So they have to
Mm.
do that trying to piss you off. A thinking fight, you have to piss them off and hurt them some kind of way. That's why they be doing that dirty shit. But nah, I didn't see Fulton's a clean fighter.
Yeah, I think he won fair and square. And matter of fact, if I'm gonna describe how that fight went or what was it about, we can use what Stephen Fulton said at the end. He said it was a close fight. He said, but I won. I had you
Mm-hmm.
out. And that's exactly how I seen that the first time around. But I feel you when you say you had to go back and look at it. But that holding of the head and hitting, you holding somebody's head. If you gotta hold a person's head and hit them, you're not a boxer.
Right.
That shit be
Right.
killing me.
Well, yeah, everybody ain't no boxer, so that's what makes the game so good is when you get those type of ruthless fighters that comes in there and they do dirty shit, and bring street tactics and stuff, and then you get a boxer that's still so slick and so good, he can still get around that shit, neutralize that shit, and then still outbox you, outthink you, outmaneuver you.
Mm-hmm.
I like seeing that sometimes, as long as they keep it under control. I don't want nobody like repeatedly being hitting the balls and getting cut and from headbutts over and over. I don't want to see that, but I like to see sometimes a little roughhousing and to get the fighter out of his comfort zone. the boxer out of his comfort zone and make them fight in spots and stuff like that. So that's just how boxing operates. But some of
Right.
that punching behind that stuff that can kill you, punching behind the head, we know can kill you,
Mm-hmm.
and can leave you like what's the Puerto Rican kid?
Like a paraplegic or
Yeah, like
you
leave you
know,
brain like a
yeah,
vegetable, man.
yeah, pretty much. They were saying Strada Chocolatito and Navarrete is at 126 as well. I know Mag Sawyer, he fights under Pacquiao's umbrella. He been calling out Devin for a minute. Demetrius said Fulton versus Aleem would be a great fight. The only person to beat Cool Boy Step. I'm gonna say this. I'm not convinced with Aleem's performance that night. He could have just had a bad night though. You saw the whole card, Coach.
Yeah, I did see it.
What you think
Aleem,
of
I like
Aleem?
Aleem. That wasn't the guy I was talking about either. I was talking about another fighter.
You broke up for
But
a second. You said that wasn't the guy. What?
I said that wasn't the guy. Remember you was talking about Aleem?
Mm-hmm.
And I was telling you about the guy that I knew. That wasn't him. That's somebody else.
Um,
But I did watch it, and I do like the dude. I like his energy, man. And man,
you
he
know how
come to
he looked
fight.
in the beginning? He had control.
Uh-huh.
He's awkward,
Uh-huh.
but it's straight up boxing. He could switch back and forth. That's just something he could do. He know how to hurt you. I mean, he awkward as hell. Like you can't train for this dude. I've seen him fight
He
like
can
that
train for
the
everybody.
whole 12 or
Uh-huh.
10 rounds. What'd you say?
Right. I said you can train for anybody. They all
I don't
got
like you.
weaknesses, strengths, and weaknesses. But
This dude,
I like him. I like his energy. He's mean. He's aggressive, and he
mhm.
come to fight. He
But
come
I
to
would tell
fight.
you, Coach G, he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
He fell kind of off. This was one of to me, and he's that good of a fighter. But this is one of his sloppier performances. Towards the end, he was tired and he was pushing some of his shots. And if he had been in there with a better fighter, he could have got caught real bad.
Yeah, he got caught and got rocked a few times.
Yeah, and they said that his opponent is not a power hitter. He don't really carry power, but he throws so much. He just overwhelmed you. And of course, Aline beat him easily, nullified what he normally does, talking about Baez. But again, I don't know what got him tired. This, like I
Aline,
said, could have been a bad night for him.
Aline,
Yeah.
he was working. He was
He
working.
don't never
Like he
get
was.
like that though, coach. He don't never. Not that I've ever seen. You could tell he was tired right at the end and he was making
Mm-hmm.
some simple mistakes, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is he never does that. Like he's good the whole 10 rounds, 12 rounds, whatever he fighting. And he wasn't like that this time around. And it wasn't like the guy was beating him. The guy caught him with some lucky shots here and there, but shit. Aleem easily beat him, but it was
Right.
sloppier during the end. So that's what make me say that. But he
Mm-hmm.
says Aleem, I'm talking Aleem, he says he's ready for the next step up. Like he's ready for a cool boy. What you think about that?
Aline,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, like I don't know. That's kind of rough. That's gonna be rough for Cool Boy. Cool Boy's a little.
Yeah.
He's a little guy, and he's not a heavy hitter. He can box, but he's a little. He's little, man. I don't know. I don't know how that fight's gonna go. I haven't seen enough of both of them. Right. From what I saw, old boy struggled a lot. Cool Boy struggled a lot fighting Figueroa, but that would be anybody fighting that dude, man. That dude is like the worst. Like he fights so ugly. Like you don't know what he's gonna do. He's like throwing like an octopus. He's throwing both punches, throwing hands from everywhere. So that was a hard. Plus, he's so damn big. But this other guy looked big too. Aleem looked big.
Yeah, he do look bigger than what the weight class they was fighting at.
Yeah, he looked bigger.
I,
He
I
looked big. Like Fulton might need to drop down or something. I don't know. He looked
I,
little. He's a
I'm
little
thinking
dude.
they was in the same weight class. They was both 122 pounders.
Mm.
But they did. Aleem did look big. I mean, Aleem to me looked like a 130 pounder. I don't know.
Yeah, he look a lot bigger than Cool Boy. Cool Boy look young. And if he didn't
Mm-hmm.
have that beard, he probably like he about 10 years old.
He do. He do. Demetrius said Tyson Fury made a mauling style famous. Everyone is using that tactic as a blueprint to neutralize better fighters. Not Aleem's best performance, but he's a bad boy. Ring rust. Probably was Demetrius. Because I've never seen him get sloppy in the end. How he was in the beginning is how he always is through his whole fight. So for me to see
Mm-hmm.
him get sloppy at the end, I was like, what? And then when I say he's awkward, you really can't train for him, is he'll hit
Mm-hmm.
you where most people go 1, 2, 3 and stop. This
Mm-hmm.
dude would come over the top. Like he does stuff like it's always this extra thing he do in the end, extra couple of punches, movement, angle like that you don't really see other people doing. And sometimes I think people can't train for that because they always look shocked when he does it. Always. Demetrius said all Baez had was those awkward overhand rights. He was swinging for the fences, won't he? He was swing.
Mm.
He was bringing that bitch from Mississippi, like wow, but it won't hit nothing because Aleem had a lot of movement. But that would be an interesting fight, him and Cool Boy. Be very matter of fact, I would love to see him fight Brandon. Talking
Lean.
about Aleem. Yep.
Yeah. That would be a better fight, but Lean figure what's his name? Figure Brandon's getting ready to move up. So
Yeah.
I'm curious to see who he gonna fight when he move up. I want to see how he deal with bigger, stronger opponents.
Most definitely. I wonder could Aleem move up because like I said, me and you both agree he don't look like no damn 122 pounder. He really don't.
Yeah, he can move up. Eventually, he's gonna. And he, how old is he?
31.
He might be stuck where he at. I don't know. 31 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He about
And
they
he's
get.
still little.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's still little. He probably ain't gonna go too much more than that. Not and still be in shape.
Yeah. Well, I mean he definitely all those people at those lower weight classes, they need to do something spectacular like become undisputed. That means fight everybody. Otherwise nobody is gonna put the emphasis or the limelight on them. I'm not saying we're not paying attention, but I'm saying that they're not a money division, you know. They're not that, and the only to make it that you got to put on like that fight that Kyle called from the boxing section between Navarrete and Chocolatito. I don't know if you saw that, Coach G, but shit, just listening to people call a fight, I didn't even see it. That shit sound
I
like
have
a
no
bomb
interest in
burner.
that.
You had no interest in it.
Mm-mm. And I don't
Why
like
not?
Chocolate Tito either. I don't like him. I never liked him. I'm so glad he got knocked out, man. Because they put them boys over the true guys that earn that shit. Andre Ward and Bud Crawford earn their spots the hard way. Like we do with everything. They earn their spots the hard way, and they threw these two dudes over the top of them and just like pissed on them. Like they was nothing. And it's like
Mm.
that kind of like I didn't like that. And it's like I didn't like them. That's why I don't like them. I'm not crazy about their style anyway. But then I see how much credit they gave them and how they just blew them out of proportion, made them into super mega stars. Meanwhile, Andre Ward and Terrence Crawford never hit that super mega star. And they the ones with all the talent. They were the ones that was cleaning out divisions. They were the ones that was fighting the fights. And they wasn't getting the acknowledgement. And they put these two guys over the top of them. Lomachenko, they put him over the top of them. It's like Canelo,
Mhm.
Lomachenko, Chocolatito, ain't none of them guys is equal to Andre Ward and Bud Crawford. Had no
Now,
business being on top
now
of them.
you know what they'll say. Well, Andre didn't sell himself. Well, Bud didn't sell himself, but neither did Chocolate Tito. Neither did Loma.
Neither did
Everything
Canelo.
y'all could say that Bud didn't do or Andre didn't do, none of them other fighters that Coach G just named, they didn't do it either. So now we back to square one. I guess coach saying they put them over there. Wait, they put the cart before the horse, pretty much, and
Yeah, I think
gave
it's
them the
being strategically
notoriety.
done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, gave them notoriety. I think it's being strategically done. So it's not by accident they're doing this to these guys like Shakur Stevenson. Bob Abrams already holding him back. You got a kid that with that much. Look at my son, man. You got with that much character, charisma. He's smart. He's articulate. He's a great boxer. He's an Olympian. I mean, he should be on. He should be pushed more than Lomachenko, more than Canelo, at least by Americans. We should be
Yeah,
really. That dude should really be pushed out there, man, as one of the next big things in boxing. But you'd be surprised if people never even heard of Shakur Stevenson. How is that?
yeah, yeah. Like we saw at his fight in Atlanta, hardly nobody was there. Considering how big the place is, I mean, I ain't gonna say nobody was there, but it wasn't packed like it should have been, and it could have been, because a lot of people
It could
do
have been a
like
lot
him.
more than that.
Yeah, a lot of people do
Same thing
like
for
him. They
Bud
just
Crawford.
they ain't advertising. Yeah,
You
they're
got to
not
go through all this
advertising.
bullshit to see Bud Crawford fights on ESPN. Like, you know how much bullshit we had to go through to get to watch that fight. Like, I don't care about nothing else on ESPN. They don't really do boxing any justice on ESPN like they used to back in the day. Friday night fights and Tuesday night fights and all these fights they used to have throughout the week. They don't have boxing like that on ESPN no more now, and I really don't care for other sports, so I don't care about ESPN. Only reason why we got ESPN Plus was for the Bud Crawford fight. That's it.
Hmm.
How many people just didn't want to go through that bullshit and be like, you know what, I want to see the fight, but I'm not going to go through downloading these apps and all this crazy mess to see this fight.
I said that too last week. I said, I think Bud said that because everybody want to talk about what he do comparatively to other fighters, namely Errol Spence. And I was like, well, Bob, it's almost like they were counterproductive with his career. You saying that's your best fighter, or that's your best fighter, and you say one of your best fighters. Let me be fair, and but you're not advertising him, you're not carrying him like he's one of your best fighters, and then when you put on the show, you make it fucking difficult. Like I spent 2 hours trying to get this damn app so I can look at it on
Mm-hmm.
TV. And since
Mm-hmm.
Bud fought, I haven't looked at that shit since. And there's a lot of
I
people
looked
out
at it just
there,
to watch the replay.
yeah, just to look at that. I don't look at none of
Mm-hmm.
like you. I don't hate other sports. I just don't look at them. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Well,
happy that Atlanta
mm,
brought home the World Series. But I can't sit up here and chop it up with you about baseball. I don't know shit. I know the gist of it. Stand on the
mm-hmm.
base, hit the ball, run the 3 bases, and run home.
You like me.
Uh, that's it. And so I'm
All right.
happy that the state of Georgia, because that's
Mm-hmm.
where we at,
Right.
brought home the World Series. And I would hope, I think it's Atlanta Hawks. That's the basketball team, and the Falcons, the football team. I hope that
I
they,
couldn't tell you.
you know what I'm saying? But like you, boxing is my sport.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're gonna make it difficult for me to get to a fight, you're not gonna get many buys, because a lot of people will say, man, fuck it. I'll wait for
Yeah.
somebody else to talk about it, or the boxing guys to upload it to YouTube. That's all I'm gonna do. That's what
It was
people are
only
thinking.
because it was Bud Crawford. If it was anybody else, I wouldn't have gave two fucks, man. It was only because it was Bud Crawford. Like, I want to see his
Mhm.
fight. But this dude is exciting to watch fight, and I just can't miss his fights. If it's any way possible for me to see it, I'm going to see it. I'm going to do everything I can to see his.
So you think can ESPN have a pay-per-view, or that's Fox? They have to go to Fox.
Now, that was pay-per-view. You had to buy that
No,
fight for $85.
oh no, I ain't pay that much. I paid 60 something on the app. 69, I think,
Through
on the app.
ESPN Plus?
Yeah.
I thought sure that fight was 85 damn dollars.
Don't give me the line. I just swore I saw
You paid
69. That's
$85.
nah, nigga. Look,
I think
hold on.
you
See,
paid
we
that
gonna
money.
We gonna handle that.
You
That's
paid that
funny.
money. You
We
ain't
gonna
even
handle
checking.
that
You
right
don't
now. I'm
care.
gonna go right
You
into
so
my bank
paid. You don't
account.
care about it.
Huh?
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, like I don't know when I was gonna pay 100. I ain't give a damn. Like you said, that's my guy, Bud Crawford. Every time he fight, I want to see it. And every fight that since I latched on to him as a fan, I've been looking at it. Hold on, let me see. Um, shit, I'm actually looking to see 69, dude. I paid 69.99.
Really?
Yeah, I just looked up
That's what I
on
thought it
my
was about.
huh? I just looked up on my bank thing. That's what I paid. It said ESPN Plus. I don't know if they gave a discount. I don't know what it was about it, but I wound up getting I had to get the bundle. Hulu, Disney, and ESPN Plus. So I pay for that now once a month. And I went on and did it
Mm-hmm.
because I like Hulu. And of course I
Disney
like
Plus got some
Disney.
good stuff too.
Yeah, I like
Mm-hmm.
Disney. So I did, and I bought it. I'm paying for it, like without the commercials. So whatever I look at, I ain't gonna have no commercials. And that came with ESPN Plus, and maybe because I did it that way, I might have got a discount. I don't know.
You did a
Um,
month to month.
yeah, I'm gonna be paying like $19 a month.
Yeah.
Um, it ain't bad because like I love Disney movies here and there, and
Yeah, I
Hulu
got Disney
always have
Plus.
some
They
good
got a lot of good
nuggets.
stuff. I don't have Hulu though.
Yeah, it's cool.
But
It's cool, and it's cheaper too. You can buy that same bundle for like $13 a month.
mm-hmm.
But some movies that you would go to on Hulu will have commercials. Not a biggie. I'm tired of the commercials. Demetrius Bright said Meg Sawyer, Joette Gonzalez, Leo Santa Cruz, and Gary Russell Jr. I'm assuming he's saying that they all at 126. Although I don't know if Leo Santa Cruz went back down. His last fight with Tank was at 130. But I don't know where he's gonna make it his home, 126 to 130. Cause
Mm-hmm.
y'all always say that Leo avoided Gary. Yeah, I don't know.
Leo did what?
Avoided Gary.
He did avoid him.
Yeah.
He
So
did. He
I
didn't
don't
want
know
nothing
if
to do with him.
I don't
And I
know if
thought he would
Leo
fight him
going back.
after I saw Gary with his dad. Like he had his arm around his dad, taunting.
Yeah.
I was like, you don't fight a man after he gonna put his arm around your dad. Like, dude, you just ain't gonna fight. You just don't
Yeah.
want to fight this man.
Exactly. And then he said Ray Vargas and Dogbe at 126. Dogbe was trucking along pretty good, but I think he took his loss. Who was that guy that first beat him? I can't
Who?
remember. Dogbe. You might not know. I think if Dogbe is that one from Guyana, I can't
Uh-huh.
remember if he's that one from Guyana. He got beat by it was this Mexican dude, and I mean he got beat. But I haven't seen that guy around since. I haven't
Mm.
seen that guy. I can't even think of his name. But Dogway to me haven't been the same since that fight.
Mm-hmm.
But Demetrius was saying they also at 126. So these are the people that Brandon Figueroa could possibly face if he goes up.
It's gonna be a different. It's gonna be a difference.
Gonna
He
be a
could add
difference.
more strength to him. He could get stronger himself. Like sometimes a guy be weakened by dehydrating like that, and then they put on some added weight and move up and be stronger. I don't know. I don't know how he's gonna be, but fighting guys his own size is gonna definitely tell a lot more about him.
hmm So yeah, me and coach is pretty much in agreement. So far we got Cool Boy clearly winning. It was a close fight, but he won. We got Cambosos clearly winning. Close fight, but he won. Who was the other fighter we talking about? Aline. Um, Coach, haven't seen a lot of his fights. I've seen
Uh-uh.
quite a few of his fights. Huh?
Uh-huh. Nah,
And
but I think that's like the second fight I saw him in.
right. I've seen a handful of his fights. I've never seen him work like that. I think Demetrius also said it wasn't his best performance, but he clearly won too. Easily won,
Mm-hmm.
even with that not being his best performance. But that getting gassed out and tired, makes me second guess. It's not a forlong conclusion that you can handle somebody like Kubo or Steph, because I don't never see that dude get tired.
Right, and he
Yeah.
fought a big Figueroa. He should have been winded a
Mm-hmm.
little bit, But well, he did get winded a little bit in that fight, but he knew how to pick his spots to recover and control
Mm-hmm.
it. He's that boy can box, man. He good.
Ain't he though? Ain't he though?
Mm-hmm.
Won't he do it?
He
Because
can
I
box.
mean, from what I can hear, what I hear about Cool Boy, like he's an avid runner. Like the boy can go for miles and miles and miles. Like in shape ain't the word, but I guess when you wrestling somebody, that's a
Uh-huh.
different tactic. That's gonna take out some energy.
It's gonna take some more out of him. But I was impressed with his IQ. His
Yeah,
boxing IQ is pretty high.
he looked sweet when he did get the box. Cause
Mm-hmm.
Brandon didn't have an answer. All
Right.
Brandon was looking to do is lay on him. And
That's
Brandon said,
it.
"You didn't win."
That's it. He
Brandon was
won
a
them
sore
all.
loser.
That rough house tactics, push him around and lay on him and beat on him. That's his style
Mhm.
of fighting. But like I said, when he fights somebody his own size, you don't be able to do that as easy. You can do it with somebody a lot smaller than you.
Y'all, where is Batman?
Yeah, the little brother fought too.
Yeah, listen, I'm open these phone lines. Where is Batman? Hold on. Coach been wanting to talk to Batman. A good talk. A good talk. Nothing bad. Uh but yeah,
Yeah,
since
we supposed to talk after the after the not port after
Terrence
the
fight.
the Canelo fight. He was
Oh,
pulling
y'all were?
for
Oh, okay.
he was pulling for the big boy, Plant. Mm-hmm.
Batman, we gotta send out the Batman signal. Well, this is what I want to ask Batman. But I know
Mm-hmm.
y'all wanted to chop it up, Coach, you and him. But I want to ask him, what was up with Antonio? Now, I love the Russells. Don't get me wrong. Team Russell over here. But I've seen Antonio fight before. And I will
Mm-hmm.
say, I don't think that man had his legs under him. Now, once I saw that knee brace on him, I was like, oh, shit. Here we go. Here we go. I hope that's something temporary. But if every time he get in the fight and I see a knee brace, I'm like, he done. That's how I'm going to feel. Because I don't think that was his best performance. I think he kept them on the outside with that jab. He had a great jab, but Antonio is more usually more busier, and he wasn't that night. Like
Well,
that dude's aggression won't shit.
he fought a dude that was fighting him. That wasn't no
Hmm.
easy fight. Like he fought a dude. I thought that Gary gave his. I guess funny calling them both Gary, but his brother thought Gary gave him some good advice in the corner too. He's all right coach. He was came out there and
Won't he though?
like you said that he did a good job, man. I love the way he was operating with his jab and fighting and clinches. He a dog too. Like he gonna get his respect.
So yeah, he, I just don't think his legs. I've seen him move around before, Coach G. I didn't see
Mm-hmm.
that in that fight. I ain't saying it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Some with his knee. I just think it might have made him hesitate just a little bit. I think he's more of a busier fighter. I've seen him fight aggressive people like that, and Antonio gets in your face and he dog
Mm-hmm.
you out. Like he manhandle you like with his punches and
Mm-hmm.
everything, and you can see it in spurts with that guy. That guy was an
You don't think
aggressive
that dude's
fighter.
style threw it off a little bit?
Mm, I don't think so because I've seen him fight people like that. And I'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
whoa, because Antonio, he angle you. He moves. He's so quick. Quick ain't the word. He and when I looked at him this weekend, I didn't think, oh, you quick. I think he was very strategic. I think he was being a little bit cautious, and he might have had reason to. He still beat dude ass. I think. I don't even see that it was a draw or nothing. He had the more effective punches. He kept them on the outside. he just kept doing whatever. So, um, do actively tried. I give him that. He was really, really trying to get in, but dude squared up a lot. So when you them type of fighters squaring up and shit, I don't give you credence for that. I started thinking, oh, here we go, another person who's more of a fighter than a boxer. And then I started having my little opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Demetrius Bryce said Navarrete beat Dogbe. He's currently the champ at 126. Bob trying to have him fight Oscar Valpaz, which is fucked up because Shakur Steven been calling for that. And they both work for Bob. Fulton be sparring with Boots all the time. Ooh, I didn't know that. I know
Yeah,
they
but
from Philly.
they don't be going 100 though.
Yeah, but still the experience of it all.
Yeah, he can pick a lot from that. He could.
Yeah. Demetrius said that fight should have been a draw. Santiago was bringing the heat. Antonio didn't listen to Gary Russell Jr. advice. Gary, out the night, gave the best advice in the corner. I mean,
He
specific
did.
to the point.
He did. He know his
I
brother. They
it,
know each other. He know what to tell him.
mhm.
He was spot on with everything he was telling him to do.
And his brother probably didn't listen because he couldn't do it. That's why I said I was one to ask Batman that. But I thought we was gonna get to chop it up with Batman for the Terrence Crawford thing, because I always say, I love Batman commentary. He knows a lot. I love when he come on the show. I be missing him. Um, but I think it's a little biased when it comes to Terrence Crawford. Like,
Well, he don't like
as
Crawford.
far as he don't like Terrence Crawford.
Oh, that's right. I remember him talking about that too. He like Spence. Yeah, that's right.
Well, Gary
Well,
Russell Jr. and Terrence Crawford don't get along at all, and
I
they,
ain't got nothing to do with that.
yeah, but
Yeah,
that's his brother, so
right.
you
Right.
know.
I got you.
Demetrius said he was the back foot. He was on the back foot most of the night against the
Mm-hmm.
ropes. He was shook. Yeah, yeah. He let that guy hurt him, but the Antonio I know wouldn't even let him got that close. And I mean, you can see it in spurts.
Mm-hmm.
Like when because Gary is known for like stop. You don't back Gary down all the time. And when you do, it's he doing something strategic. I'm talking about Gary Russell Jr. And I believe
Mm-hmm.
all of them know how to fight like this. They are notorious for standing even with you, making you miss. They can hit you from short distance, from long distance, short distance. It don't matter. Like they so technically sound. And when you said that Antonio kept backing up to the ropes, that made me say what's going on because you ain't even fight like you normally fight. Stephen Houston in the building. He said, I hate the WBC. I hate the franchise BS calling Cam undisputed. Did they say that? You talking about Cam Bosos? Did you hear that, Coach G?
Nah, I ain't hear that, but we all know it's bullshit because Haney got the belt. So how can he be? And like that's what I'm saying. I just want to see them boys go ahead and fight. Because if they go ahead and fight, if all these guys who's supposed to fight, there could be a change in the guards in every division. A lot of these dudes that holding these titles ain't gonna be holding these titles. They fight what they're supposed to fight. Canelo wouldn't be holding that 168 if he fought Benavidez. I don't think he can beat him. He wouldn't be holding a belt up there at 175 if he fight Arthur Benavidez.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he can deal with Charlos or Andre at 160 or 168. But he won't fight them guys. But if these guys fight who they're supposed to fight, it's gonna be a lot of changing of the hands with them damn titles. I'm telling you, this Valdez dude, he better stay the hell away from Shakur Stevenson because he might
Well,
as well go
we
ahead and
we
just give
know
that
he's
belt to Shakur
scared.
right now.
He don't want it. He don't want it. He don't want it at all. If you want it, that's a simple fight. Just like Rolly and Tank would have been simple to make. Y'all both work
That
for
would be a good
Bob.
fight. That was gonna be
You
a good
think
fight. Yeah,
Rolly and Tank?
that was gonna be an awesome fight. Yes, it
I did.
really
I thought
was.
so too.
It wasn't going the distance. I bet you that somebody was getting knocked out.
The only look, we know that Tank is a better boxer. We know that. So kudos for that part. We know that Tank got power, but we also know that Rolly got power. we know that Rolly has been improving. So you put them two together, and the only question is, both of them can throw a power punch, but can both of them take it? That's the part we don't know.
And Rolly a big dude. He's a
He
lot bigger
don't he
than him.
though? He damn near looked like he could be 147 in there, but definitely over a little over 140. He looks bigger than 140 when he goes into the ring
But
and
Tank
he
got that
fights.
speed.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Yeah.
southpaw. I would love to see that fight, man. I can't wait to see him beat the shit out of Pitbull. That's gonna be a good fight.
But coach, I'm here to tell you, I don't think it's gonna be that simple. I could be shocked, but I
Man,
don't
he
think
gonna
it's
beat
gonna
the
be that
dog shit out of
simple.
Pitbull. That dude too easy to hit. You can't be easy to hit and fight a guy like Tank Davis. You can't be easy to hit and fight a guy like Terrence Crawford. These guys that can punch and got speed and got high IQ. If you easy to hit with no defense, it's gonna be a bad night for you.
I got Tank. I'm always betting with the home team, but I think it's not gonna be that simple for Tank. And if I think for Tank to win, he has to let go that strategy that he's adopted nowadays, where he take his time and he be taking the punch here. No, you cannot do that with Pitbull. You gonna have to go back to when you let your hands go and you was fighting, throwing everything, showing them all the different looks, which Tank can do. But if Tank fight Pitbull like he fought Leo or like he fought Barrios, I don't know.
I think if because he boxed them, and I think if he fight this guy like this, it's gonna work out better in his favor because now he's not at such a disadvantage with arm reach. The other two guys you just named had him a few inches in arm reach, and he still outboxed him. Leo's name, Leo Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz.
He had the reach advantage. Barrios reach advantage. Both of them had the reach advantage and the height advantage. But you saw Tank was still able to maneuver and get around their jabs and get to him and touch him. This guy Pitbull got short arms. He's Tank size. He might be a little thicker, but he's height and reach. He's right there. He can get the hell blasted out of him. He's easy to hit. He's easy to
But
hit,
Leo,
Tank faster and smaller.
the reason why I brought Leo and Barrios up because they were the last two fights and probably fresher on our mind. But fights before them, where the fighter wasn't that much bigger than Tank or that much taller, it wasn't that much daylight in between their size. Tank still did that strategic stuff. I can't recall what fight where I said, oh, he's changing how he fight. But I want to say Pedraja, he let them hands go. I'm not saying Tank can't do it. I think he became more strategic. To me, I took it as you're upping your level. But now we have to see, can Tank turn it on and turn it off when necessary? Because to do it that way with a pit bull, I don't think it's sound. But to do it the way he used to when he first came out, that's the way I think he can beat Pitbull because he is a better boxer and he is quicker. So then you got to be a boxer and be quicker. We know you got power.
Yeah, that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna come out there and box him for a few rounds, just enough to get his range and timing. Once he do that, it's gonna be a beatdown, and they're gonna have to probably either stop the fight or he's gonna catch Pitbull and knock his ass out. That's how it's going.
So Demetrius Bright said Rolly is a fighter and walks around at 186 pounds. I did not know he was that damn big.
Yeah, Rolly was big. I didn't know he was that big either, but I know he was big.
Him and Tio must walk around the same way because they always look about the same size. Demetrius also said Isaac Cruz does some crazy strengthening exercise for his neck and chin. Check out those videos. I will, King.
That's awesome. It ain't gonna save him though.
Coach, now if we come back,
that motherfucking jaw.
if we come back and Isaac pulls an upset, what we gonna say?
He ain't. Trust me, he's not. Tank gonna beat the shit out of that dude. You'll see. Them little short arms. He's short too. He's able to touch him to the body, to the head, and hit him whatever he wants to hit him with without overreaching. Oh my God. You're gonna see. He gonna come out there and take his time in the beginning, getting this range, getting this timing, and he gonna catch that dude and hurt him, and he ain't gonna ever recover. You'll see.
Yeah. I mean, look, I've been watching Isaac Cruz for a minute. So I have faith that this dude can fight better than a lot of people give him credit for or think that he could. I'm going for Tank. That's Tank is the home team. I'm from the VOT, Tank from Baltimore. So I
Isaac
mean,
can't fight.
Isaac can, he can.
Yeah.
And he can take your will. And he aims to take your will. But that's the
He ain't
thing. We have
taking Tank
never
will.
seen nobody hit Tank hard enough to make him second guess. I think Rolly could have hit him that hard. And I think Isaac can hit him that hard. Then the question is, can Tank strategically outbox either one of them two where he getting off and they not getting off? Because we know they carried the power to do it. We just don't know,
Oh
can
yeah.
Tank take a power shot? We just don't know it. We don't have it on record. That's the only thing.
I don't see Tank coming in this fight to take any punches, man. Like I've been listening to him speak. Like when he was talking to Rolly about fighting Rolly, he was real big on talking about his skills and defense. You said y'all talking about power, power, power. He said I don't hear you talking about nothing about your skills, and he was basically he was focusing on skills and defense, and that's where I want to see him at. Because under the wings of Mayweather, I mean, why not? Like that's what you need to be focusing on. We already know he can punch, but he needs to work on his other stuff. And when Tank chooses to box you, you have a problem, man. You have a problem.
I
Isaac
agree.
ain't got nothing for him, nothing at all.
See, I don't agree with that. But I agree that when Tank chooses to box you, you got hell on wheels. Demetrius say Tank has a high IQ, ring IQ, set up those knockouts against Leo and Tank. He took some punches too, Demetrius. That's what I'm saying. What we don't know, and I say it again, what we don't know is, can Tank take a punch? We don't know that because ain't nobody ever gave it to him. Um, then DJ in the building was Poppy King. He said, "Yeah, Rolly showed us on the scales. He was upwards of 160 plus pounds at the one point recently." And then he also said Tank always takes about the first 4 to 5 rounds to gauge distance and feel your power. See, that's what I'm saying, Coach. If that's what he's doing, and I agree with DJ, ain't nothing wrong with it. I ain't saying nothing wrong with that strategy. I'm happy that he elevated his game to that point. But some people you can do that with, and some people you can't. That's all I was saying.
I
So
think that's in his best interest to fight that way because fighting a guy like Pitbull or any of those flat-footed, come forward style fighters, brawling with them, that's the only chance they really got to beat you. That's the only opportunity. Oh my God. Get him out of here. That's like the only that's like the only chance they got at beating you. And he's not going to let him do that. Don't give this guy a chance. If his only chance is for me to sit here and brawl with him toe to toe, don't give him that. Box him and move around and weaken his ass and then get him out of there. You're gonna see Tank is smart, man. Tank got the smart people behind him. This is a question I want to ask you. What happened to Tank's coach?
ooh, anybody I open up the phone lines for somebody to call in and tell us that inquiring minds want to know. Let me see if I can hear it.
Because I didn't see
Yep.
him. He got new.
I
He got
really
Barry Hunter in his
know
corner,
the
I think.
T on that. I don't know the T. Leo said both Leo and Barrios was tagging Tank. Yeah, they were. Honestly, guys in the chat, y'all can help us. Anybody want to call in? 706-804-4449. I would even dying to know that shit.
The
Dying
reason
to
why
know.
those two guys were tagging him was because they had the height and reach advantage. I mean, Tank had to go through some fire to get to them dudes, and they both could fight. Like when you got you that far away from your opponent, he can hit you, you can't hit him. You ain't got no choice but to go through the fight. You got to get through that to get to him so you can get your shots off. So he had to eat some of them shots to get close to those guys, them long ass arms. Pitbull don't present that same problem because he don't have no long arms.
I put the link in the chat, y'all. If y'all know the answer to that, because we want to know. I do. I just don't really say nothing. That's why I say I'm going to ask. Because I like Tank and his team and everything. and I'm sure it's gonna be some speculation with Mayweather, but it might not be Mayweather fault. I don't know how they're gonna push that narrative or how they're gonna say it, but it is noticed that Coach Calvin is not there, and being honest, as I look at it, I don't see. I know that they have a history, and I feel like when they do show clips that Calvin is trying to carry it as normal, like when he talks to Tank, especially when he talk about his kids, just probably trying to keep it the same way. I just don't see um the energy coming back at Calvin the same way. I'm gonna say it like that. I don't know shit. I don't know these people. I'm not close to anybody in their camp, but that is interesting to know because I don't know what would you do in a case like that when you take your fighter so far, coach, and you easily pushed aside or whatever. And Barry
It
Hunter
happens
is
all the
not an
time.
instigator, huh?
I hear about this all the time. I've heard stories about this. Like, you see movies about it. The coach take the fighter to a certain level, and then these people come in. But I don't think I don't think that was going on with them guys. I don't think that's what it is. I'm just curious to know because I haven't heard anybody speak on it. Like, I don't think that's the
Mm,
situation with Calvin and Barry Hunter. I don't. Them guys are too grown and
right.
too mild mannered. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Hmm.
really see nothing like that going on with them. But I don't know. Ain't nobody spoke on it.
Barry Hunter is a good guy, and he don't strike me as a person who be into some rah rah and some bull
Right.
crap.
Neither do
Calvin
Calvin.
don't
They're
strike
both
me as a
old
person.
gentlemen, man.
Yeah,
Respectable
yeah.
guys.
And
Mm-hmm.
Barry gives the utmost respect, even when he worked with Kenny Porter and all that. He is his own man, but he gives respect to the team that's there and all that. So my first mind is to say it's just a coincidence, but I would be interested to know that, like, where is Calvin, and maybe Calvin busy. He got another fighter. I don't know. Maybe he's training. I don't know, coach. Maybe things are heavy in the amateurs thing because he still does that or work with fighters like that. But
Mm-hmm.
that's a good question. If any of y'all know in the chat, please do call in. The phone lines are open 706-804-4449. I put the link in the chat if y'all want to chime in. But we will leave it at Calvin's a good man, Barry's a good man, and Tank is a decent dude. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we're gonna leave it. But hopefully, going back to his fight this weekend, it's weird that it's on Sunday. I'm probably gonna buy it because I'm a Tank fan. But at the same time, I think Pitbull will give him some competition. Where Pitbull will fall to me is if he let the lights and the stage of it all get to him, because that's a real thing. That's kind of what happened with T.O. this weekend. He let the lights and the stage get to him. And that could happen to Pitbull, and he just underperforms. But looking back, if y'all just go watch his previous fights, that dude is hard to beat. Oh, I knew Shelton was gonna come in here and enlighten us. What up, King? What up, Shelton? You about
What's
to
good?
enlighten us?
What's happening? What's happening? I'm on my little break at the job. Y'all must be talking about that boy getting his ass whooped.
You talking about this weekend? Who you talking about?
I say y'all must be talking about that boy that just got his ass whooped Saturday night.
Oh, Teofimo? Nah, we moved on. Coach asked a good question. Go ahead and ask him, Coach. What was the? So I don't put no
What
words in
happened
your
to
mouth.
Tank's coach, Calvin? I haven't seen him lately.
You said that
Last
what
couple
happened to
of
Calvin? What happened to Calvin Ford?
yeah.
Yes.
Calvin Ford is out. Headbangers. Barry Hunter's in.
Yeah, we know that.
We saw
But
that
what
coming.
happened?
But what happened?
I got a lot of background noise, a lot of trucks. But Floyd been working on that for a minute. Calvin brought him up from the amateurs, slept on the man's couch. They was tight. But when money get involved, things tend to change.
Mm.
I saw it coming a year ago when they brought Barry Hunter on as a co-trainer. Gary Hunter, you know, he's famous for Lamont Peterson, all them boys out of DC, the Headbangers Gym.
Mm-hmm.
And he's real tight with the Mayweather, so that's like a no-brainer.
So you think Calvin got squeezed out, for lack of a better word?
I'm sure he did. I'm almost positive. I'm ready to bet the ranch on it.
That's crazy.
That's
I haven't heard anything.
unfortunate.
That's crazy.
That's unfortunate.
Just to hear him talk about Tank mean a lot to that dude, man.
Yeah.
Right.
It's more than just boxing.
We'll know on December 4th when we see who's in the corner. Then we'll know.
Yeah. Because Calvin did come down to Vegas. I think some people started saying something. I'm not saying that that's why he did, but I know in that All Access, they didn't see Calvin. So people started saying something, and it seemed like he showed up in Vegas for the little touch-ups, you know, the ending touch-ups, you know.
Did you hear Tank in the piece? Tank said, we just need a different look. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that too.
That's crazy.
That's not all the way cool. But I know you're on your break, Shelton. Go ahead and cook. What you got to say about this weekend?
Oh, well, you know, it was inevitable. You know what I'm saying? Now, coach right there can verify this, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you giving a fighter instructions on the stool after a round, I think you need to have a little bit more to say than go out there and fuck him up.
Yeah, you heard that, Coach G?
Yeah, I see it all the time. Go out there, throw more punches, you know. Knock him out. Like, how I'm gonna knock this motherfucker out? You gotta give me some more details than that.
You know what I'm saying? If you guys were watching, if you guys watched the Gary Antonio Russell fight,
right?
Did you hear Gary Russell in the corner?
Yeah, we spoke on that already. Yeah, he gave great.
That's what a trainer is supposed to tell his fighter.
Yeah. I said that already. He did a good job, man. He was spot on. But that's because they know each other so well too, though. But yeah, he did a great job.
Yeah, I think T.O. that and T.O. was on some conceited, arrogant shit since the Lomo fight, and it got to their head. They lost focus. They derailed themselves.
Well, what I saw, I'm gonna be honest. What I saw was a man who don't know shit about boxing in the corner.
Yeah,
T.O. needs to get a trainer. Someone who's knowledgeable in the arts, in the art of boxing, who has some knowledge. This guy, all he could say was, "You're doing great," when you're getting your ass whooped. You won that round when you clearly didn't. That was just a balance issue. It wasn't a knockdown. He didn't hurt you. Come on, man. You don't know what you're talking about. Get somebody in there with some experience, somebody in there with some knowledge, because where I sit, right, I can't impart knowledge to you, Miss T, if I don't have any.
Yeah, I feel you. That's what me and Coach was cooking on.
Yeah, and when all you got to say to your fighter is go out there and fuck him up, that tells me you have no knowledge of what you speak of.
That's true. And we already concluded that T.O. need to upgrade his trainer. He need to trade him in to get somebody else. We probably need to get somebody else.
Well, you know, I hate to say this. I really hate to say this. But did not T.O. look like Wilder out there?
Now, this Wilder country, and I'm going to tell y'all, it ain't but one fighter. I'm biased.
Walking forward for a right hand?
No, he ain't look like Wilder. No, he ain't look like Wilder. And I am biased. This Wilder country. I can't help it, y'all.
No, but I'm saying that was our biggest problem with Wilder, not using the boxing skills that he had to have to win a bronze medal in the Olympics. You have to have some kind of boxing.
Yeah.
But you're not using them. All you're doing is walking forward looking for a right hand. And that's all T.O. was doing Saturday night. He wasn't using no jab. He wasn't countering. He wasn't using no hook. He was just eating punches, walking forward, looking for a right hand.
True. President Jafar is in the building. He says, salute, Miss T. Salute to you, King. T.O. wasn't prepared. That's what we concluded. Well, that's what I concluded. I don't think he really focused or paid attention to details or trained properly for this fight. It's no excuses. You had the date. You knew it was coming. If one of y'all could do it, then the other one could do it. I think he was winded in the beginning. He was way big, so he might have weight drained and then ate a lot. I don't think he was physically prepared.
That's whose fault is that?
That's his. I ain't giving him no excuse. But I know he's better than a Kambosos. But he didn't show it that night.
Obviously not.
Mm-hmm. I still say he's better than a Kambosos, but he didn't show it that night.
Well, it's too late now.
Yeah, it is.
So we don't care if we think he's better. He wasn't better when he needed to be better. That's what's important.
That's true. How did you feel about Kubo stepping Brandon? I know you're going back into work. How'd you feel?
I love that fight. That was a great fight. Cool boy Steph outdogged the dog just like I said he would. You know what I'm saying? He made that fight tougher than he had to. He could have just outboxed that boy. But he stood in the pocket and caught him in between shots, caught him with the cleaner punches, and the judges saw that. I was happy about that. I didn't like Brandon Figueroa's attitude after the fight. But, that is what it is. It
was the night of sore losers.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was. President Jafar said T.O. was partying and smoking on hookah. I said from day one, Kambosos will whoop him. You did say that, President Jafar. Kambosos beat T.O. long before they got in that ring. Probably so.
Yeah, he did. He beat him in the gym. He beat him in the gym.
That's right. I believe that.
I'm just glad he did.
Yes, we all are. You know what? Because it's gonna make 135 interesting.
That's what's best for boxing, because we know T.O. wasn't gonna fight nobody.
Exactly.
He proved it. Now this guy said he's not even going home to Australia. He's going to Vegas to watch the Haney JoJo fight.
He said he wanted.
He said he wanted.
That he has opportunity right here. He ain't been making no money. Now he got all the belts. He can get somebody to come to Australia, put 70 or 80,000 in a football stadium, and break the bank. And
Shakur already volunteered. Shakur already said he'll go.
What?
Shakur
said he'd fight him.
He already stated said he'll go to Australia fight.
Well, dang.
Yeah, but see, the difference is if Haney wins, that's a bigger fight because that's the true undisputed. See what I'm saying? See where I'm going with it?
Yeah, we spoke about that too.
Yeah, so all we need for Haney to do is take care of business on Saturday night. If Haney takes care of business, we're going to have a true undisputed fight.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so. I just want somebody to get the belt who ain't scared to fight.
Well, yeah, that's true. And I think, as far as Saturday night, I think JoJo is too little. I think Haney going to beat the shit out of him.
I've been saying Haney has grown. I ain't saying he taking no tea, y'all, so don't misconstrue what I'm saying. I literally seen the transformation of little boy to, the different levels y'all go through in recent months. Look at Haney last year, this time, and look at Haney now. That's a man right there. You know what I'm saying? He didn't feel in. Huh?
Shakur too. They both developing out.
Yeah, him
like
too.
Now. But you got to think he started at 17 years old. Didn't Haney started like 17.
Yeah, exactly.
I think younger than that.
So you actually saw a little boy. He was a little boy fighting grown men. So.
Oh, you talking about his pro?
Yeah.
I guess he was talking about just boxing period.
No. He turned pro at like 17 years old.
If you still on the call,
all right. Okay, that's cool. Handle your business, player. He froze up. I think he went back to work. But if he started moving, I'll bring him back in.
Okay.
President Travas said he intimidated T.O. from the face-offs early on. Jay Gibson is in the building. Was Poppin' King says salute to Miss T and fam. And President Travas said Australia sees USA as a rival in sports. They slowly creeping into boxing. Jeff Horn, Tim Zoo. I don't know how to. I hope I pronounced his name right. Now
The zoo.
George Cambosos.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
that's the
probably
zoo.
do.
That's
Yeah,
Costa Zoo's
Casazu's
son.
son.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I heard shit, people thinking twice about fighting his ass.
Yes. He is one of the only sons of a former boxing champion that I see is worth something. All the rest of them is trash. This dude is the first son that I've seen that it looked like he's a good man. This dude can fight. He reminds me of his dad so much.
Wow. He
And if
looks
you
he
know
looks a little
Costa Zoo,
taller than his dad. Am I wrong with that? He looks a little like thinner and taller. They might
yeah,
be
but
the same weight.
he got punching power and he can box. Like he can fight.
Do you think that Cambosos should take out his belts to Australia and let either Haney or Shakur, whoever wanted,
I
come
would.
down there?
I would.
You
If I
would?
was him, I would. I would. If it was him, if I was him, I'd go back to my place, my land, my country, where I have everything in my favor. That's what I would do.
President Chavez.
It ain't gonna help him though.
President Chavez said Tim Zoo just beat Jeff Horn and stopped him. I didn't even see that fight or knew about it. If they go down to Australia, they better go down knowing that they got to knock his ass out.
Just beat him so bad that just they can't. It's just blatant. Like doesn't even have tell the judges to go home. I really believe that Haney and Shakur would dominate.
And I'm saying this mainly for Haney, because Haney is more so,
The rightful
technically
owner to that
should
belt.
be rightful. It
Mm-hmm.
should be right for him to fight Cambosa.
Right.
More so than Shakur. That's not his weight division. He will be moving up.
But he
But
won't
if
call him
Haney
out.
fights him,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And I mean, Shakur could do that and then go back down to 130. I don't know. I think if he go to 135, he ain't going back to 130. If
I think he
Shakur
might
do that,
want to move up right quick and pick that little easy belt up and then go back because it's a lot of fights that he need at 130. He got to fight Valdez. He got some guys down there he got to finish business with. But if he can get that fight, either one of them get that fight, I want it. I'd rather for Haney to get it, but if Haney can't get it, I'll be satisfied with Shakur getting it because I know them boys gonna fight. They ain't ducking and dodging.
if Haney gets in that fight this weekend and manhandles and knock the hell out of JoJo, I would be more inclined to think, yeah, he could be knocking folks out. I think Haney is an excellent fighter. I think he do a lot of stuff well for to be so young. He got like the skills and maturity of somebody that's like 30 years old or late 20s, and he's only like what 22.
Yeah.
However, I do not see Haney as no knockout puncher.
Nah, I don't
And
see a bunch of power either. But what he does it very well. And I don't see anybody outboxing him. Like he can box, he can fight. He showed in his last fight he can take a punch. He got hit by that shot being stupid. Like he knew he should have been fighting that style of fighting, trying to please the crowd. And I hope that taught him that lesson about you got to say fuck the crowd. Worry about your opponent. That's it. Don't listen to that crowd. That crowd will get you knocked out. They want to see blood. They want to see blood and guts and glory. They want to see a brawl. You can't listen to that. You start boxing, looking pretty, they start booing you. Like they don't want to see that. They want to see you, but you can't listen to them. You fight your fight and do what you need to do to win that fight, to win that round, each round. And long as Haney keep that in his head, he gonna win a lot of fights, man. Because that boy can box. His range control is beautiful. I love when he uses jab and use those feints and stepping around his opponents. Like the boy can box, man. He's a pretty boxer. I love to see him fight. Him and Shakur.
He is, but between Shakur and him, I gotta keep it real, Coach G. I see what Gary is saying. There are some holes in Haney's arsenal, and it's easily fixed. He just got to know what they are. Like it's a couple of things. Like Batman and them made the rounds and was talking about he's too wide with his shit, or he too like he could catch something doing it that way, especially when I guess when they're talking about relatively to when he's standing in position. Like if you were close in and you wide with shit, you asking for trouble. You know what I'm saying? But I say Haney cannot just outbox him. Australia is not gonna give it to him. They're gonna give him his first loss down there if he just come there and just try to outbox him and he don't hurt George Campbell.
Well, the fight probably gonna go there. They're gonna put so much money in to probably make the man stay here. But if I was him, I would want to keep my belts. I would want to go back to Australia. If you want to fight me for him, you gotta come to my turf to fight me for him. If I had that many, but he'll probably stay and make that fight in Vegas. But what they were saying about Haney, I don't know. But I know a lot of times on the outside you see stuff, but then once you get in front of that guy, all that shit you said you could take advantage of, you don't see it no more. Like it's a reason why people ain't doing what you said you saw, and they can't make it work because he's just that skilled. I seen him and Shakur fight already. I seen when sparring. I think it was him and Tank Davis sparring. Like all them boys just sparred together, and you can see them sparring. Even my man that just fought, Teofimo Lopez. You see them sparring against him. I mean, you can see it going back and forth. But I know that's just sparring. But Haney is on a different level. Kambosa don't want it. He don't want it. The boy,
and he could. If we find out that he capping, like doing that Ryan Garcia crap, like calling out black fighters' name to associate their name with him just to get his clout up. And I'm hoping I'm using these terms right.
Right.
I'm gonna be hot. I'm gonna be hot, and I'm not gonna fault him for going to Australia. Like Coach G said, who wouldn't? I would do it too. Y'all gotta come see me. However, don't go down there thinking you're gonna catch no favor.
Yeah, well, he will
the
get his
Haney's of the
hometown.
world or Shakur's.
They probably will favor him in his own hometown, but those fight. But the way they're gonna be, that guy is not on Haney's level, man. He's not on Shakur Stevenson level, man. That's why they would love to fight this cat, man. He is not on their level. He can fight. He came in there, he looked like that with Lopez. But like I said, Lopez ain't never impressed me. He got a good right hand. He can knock you out. But as far as being this exceptional, talented boxer, I never saw it. I never saw that.
He not that smooth, but he can box, Coach G. Come on, man.
Well, I didn't say he
got
can't
the
box, but he's not on that. I wouldn't put him on the level. I don't see him being what the Shakur. Those guys are special fighters to me.
Oh, Shakur better than the three that you talking about.
Yeah, but they all special. They all special. I don't consider him to really be no special fighter. I don't. Nothing about him jumps out at me and be like, "Oh my god!" Like this motherfucker's nice. Nothing that Teofimo does that for me. Make me like I can't put on no one super good thing I like about him besides he can punch. He can punch.
But yeah, that's the thing. He can punch, and he's fundamentally sound. But he can punch. The other two are better boxers. But when you start talking about who can hurt somebody, it's T.O., Shakur, and Devin. That's the order that I put them in. And I'm just T. I'm just one person. Presidential Jafar said Japanese dude Agawa just got the vacant 130 IBF strap by brutally beating South African Fuzil. This guy is tough. Fight for Shakur from what I saw. And he also said, yeah, T.O. is good, but not on Shakur or Haney or Tank level.
Nah,
so we agree. We agree. But if they come down there, you see what they did to Pacquiao. And some of y'all said that Pacquiao really beat Jeff Horn.
Nah, Jeff
Horn. It was a brutal fight. You said he did?
Yeah, he beat Pacquiao ass in that fight. That was the people that couldn't let go of their little heartstrings. They was in love with Pacquiao. Pacquiao was a god. Nah, Pacquiao got his ass beat by Jeff Horn. Simple as that.
Yeah, I agree with the decision. I'm saying like most people collectively felt like the Pacquiao kind of got robbed. And all I'm saying is don't matter what. When you in America, sometimes, see, we can't even say American fighters always catch favor in America Cause it's always some tomfoolery going on. But definitely when we go in other people's countries, their fighters catch favor. And so it ain't enough just to outbox you. It's not. The only time I can point to an American where we had to fight in American was Jackson Marias, who fought Rolly that time, who clearly beat his ass, in my opinion. That should have been Rolly's first loss. But Rolly caught favor. Why? We in America. That's the first time I'm gonna say that. Um, I know it happens more, but that was the most clear and recent time that I could say American fighters caught favor over somebody who's not American. Yeah, so I don't know. I just think if they go down there, they better beat his ass. I would rather for the fight to be in America. Don't go to nobody hometown. DJ always say, "Bring it to Atlanta." What you think, Coach?
Yeah, we need
Bring
to
it to
make
Atlanta.
Atlanta into a boxing city, man. Bring more fights this way, and a lot of people will start liking it. You know what I'm saying? Well, if it's never here, all we got is football and basketball and baseball. And I'm sorry, those sports are just so lame to me. I just can't. They need to bring more boxing here, man. We need more
Hey,
boxing.
we got two people saying who advocating make Atlanta the home of boxing, and they could do
Yes,
it. They could do it.
yes.
We got the State Farm Arena and we got the Mercedes Benz Arena,
Oh, we
right?
got plenty of places to hold them.
Plenty,
Mm-hmm.
plenty. So, just somewhere neutral. If Haney goes with George Cambosa, make it somewhere neutral. I could even see them doing it in the Barclays. I'm sorry, like the Barclays, you can't get more neutral. I don't
Right,
never really associate tomfoolery with the Barclays,
right. That fight will
but
probably be in
Vegas,
Vegas, though.
yeah, I can see that too. I can
Be
see
in
that
Vegas. They
too.
can charge more for them tickets, for them seats, and they can make more money all
Mhm.
around, man. Just having it there in Vegas.
Yeah, I would say if George Cambosa ever watched this show, which I doubt, but if he ever so be thumbing through YouTube, I'm gonna tell you, do not go to nobody's home. Don't go to Cali. If you fighting Devin, don't go to Cali. And if you fighting Shakur, don't go to New Jersey. But hey, New York is a hop, skip, and a jump.
That
You
stuff
got
ain't
two
gonna
good
matter.
options: Atlanta or Vegas.
Yeah, it ain't gonna matter though. If it's an even playing field with the judges, man,
Mhm.
he just cannot beat those guys, man. He just not on their level.
Yeah, yeah. Cambosa can't beat them.
He
I
can't beat
never
them.
would think that. And
Mm-mm.
I still wouldn't think on T.O.'s good night that he could be T.O. I just feel that way.
I don't see what y'all see.
President President Fox said it will boost Haney worldwide as well. Yeah, but going forward, Devin Haney can't get caught up in the fact that these people don't want to fight him. So, Coach, I be saying, shit. If the top 3 or 4 don't want to fight you, go to 5, 6, 7, 8.
Well, that's what he's
Am
having
I
to do.
wrong?
That's what he's having to
Hmm?
do. He's having to do that. Like he's gonna fight. Who is he getting ready to fight next? Say JoJo?
That ain't the top. That ain't 4, 5, 6, 8. He was JoJo is his mandatory.
Right, that's okay, but he's fighting. And I understand they get bored with fighting these. I imagine it's probably hard to get up and keep training for these bums that you know that's not going to elevate your career. They are
Right.
hungry to prove themselves. And I know it's frustrating to want these big fights with these guys. You looking at them, you know you can beat them. And they won't sign a damn dotted line and let you give you opportunity to shine on TV. And so
But I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
sometimes you take these fights and you're not really into the fight. You don't get up for the fight, and they come out and look like shit, or they lose or something, get knocked out or something like that. I know he's motivated for the big fights, and that's what he deserved. They either
But what he need to do, Coach? I don't know if you finished, but you had got quiet. What
yeah.
he need to do, um, is to make a statement out of these bums when he do fight bums. Like if 4, 5, 6 to him, then you need to make a statement. Michael Fuller come in. Like if 4, 5, 6 to him. Okay, you gonna have to cut off some stuff in the background. Michael Fuller come in. Like there's a reverb. We can't move forward till you cut off your background or something. You did? Okay. We don't hear nothing. All right, go ahead. Michael Fuller in the building was popping king. What you got?
Oh, hold on a minute. Let me. I got the football game on. I heard you guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. I heard you talking about the lightweights, and the guy that beat Lopez. I think the only way he wouldn't hold that in Australia, Sydney, Australia, is because they can't work out the issues with the time difference because they're 17 hours ahead. They're 17 hours ahead of us. So if it's East Coast time, 9:30, it's about 2:30 there in the afternoon on Tuesday. So they're 17 hours ahead. So if they can't work out, but if they have the fight in the afternoon, it works out. So I think the only way if they have the fight in the afternoon of Sunday afternoon, uh, then we would see it here Saturday night. I think that's the only way that the new champion does not want to fight in Australia because of issues with the networks and the time difference. But he's got all the belts except for that one, so I think he should have the right to pick where he wants to fight. And I agree with you guys. I mean, when they get over there won't be any favorites. They want to keep those belts in Australia, so I don't see him. I don't see any American fighter going over there and get a close decision. I don't think they're going to get a close decision. They would have to dominate that fight or stop him. And I think Shakur's probably got the best chance of them all
Yeah, I
of
was gonna
doing
say
it.
that too.
Devin Haney could probably take him the distance, but that guy's a pretty good counter puncher. He can punch in between exchanges. He can punch in between, so he's a good counter puncher. So I see him being able to catch Devin based on some holes I've seen in Devin's defense in the past. So, but I think Shakur would pretty much shut him out and eventually Stevenson would pretty much shut him out and eventually stop if he takes that fight. I don't know if he's going to take it. I don't know if he would take. I don't know if he would take that fight or not. But yeah, I agree with everything you guys were saying. Definitely.
I think Presidential DeFar said Australia and UK usually hold fights in the afternoon, early evening to compensate for U.S. viewership. Yeah, I think that's what I was gonna say too.
They've
If
had
they did
fights
it for
before.
Pacquiao,
Yeah, they've
go
had
ahead,
fights.
Coach.
I've seen fights down rank that we call down under before that they was televised. It won't be the first time. So that's
Yeah,
not the problem. Working that time schedule out, they can make that happen easily.
I think the UK is like 5 or 6 hours ahead.
they 6
East.
most of the time.
Yeah, depends on what time of the year it is. But
Yeah,
that Australia is 17 hours ahead right now. So that's
yeah.
Sydney is 17 hours. So that may be. I don't. As long as they don't have, if they have the fight on Sunday, like I was saying, if they have a Sunday afternoon, then it would come on right about now on Saturday night in America, which is what they want to do. They want to get those
To
views.
maximize the viewership. I get it. I get it. Well, like we all in agreement then that it's his right. It's his rite of passage at this point
Oh yeah,
to take the fight to his hometown. Just any American fighters who think they can walk in there and get him, you better know you better knock his ass out. That's all I say. Cause you ain't
yeah,
gonna catch
you're
no
right.
favor. Ain't
No,
gonna be no closeness. The closeness, the edge is gonna be given to him. And I'm not even mad at that. I feel like George did not take it from Tio. I just really feel that. But he was the better boxer that night. So, okay. He was the better man that night. I ain't mad at the decision. But there's taking the belt, and then there's, you just competing.
well,
These weren't two contenders. One was a third. I'm trying to look for the word, but a big time champion because he had all the belts except one, and one didn't have no belts. So in that
Well,
case, should have did more.
I never was impressed that much with T.O. I never with Lopez. Kofi,
Yeah, I
it's
feel
I wasn't that impressed with him because bottom line is that he got beat up. I mean, you look at his face, looked like someone took a meat cleaver to his face. Literally took a meat cleaver to his face. I mean, that guy beat him up, and so and I knew he was in trouble when he was in that second, third round. That's when someone said, "Did he look like Wilder?" Well, what he looked like Wilder to me is when he was in that second, third round and he was breathing hard. That's what reminded me of Wilder because in both Wilder's second and third fight, Wilder was gulping water down in the third fight after the first round. After the first round, he was breathing hard and gulping water after the first round. That's when I knew he was going to lose. He just didn't. He just wasn't going to have the. Nonetheless, I thought that the only way he could have beat Fury is that somehow Fury didn't have his win. But I knew that there were cardiovascular issues with Wilder after the first round of this last fight. Theo, like the second round, uh, Lopez. After that second round, you could look second, third round, the way he was breathing, and he couldn't keep that jab going. He had to conserve those punches. I knew he was going to run out of gas. I knew
y'all know
then it
when I
was
knew he lost
and new.
the first round. That's when I knew. I knew he wasn't. There was gonna be trouble in the waters the first round because TL don't come out like that. He don't normally do that. I knew he was fighting with emotions. I was like, oh, it's over.
That's probably what tied him up right there.
hmm Fighting with emotions. And I've never seen T.O. fight like that ever. And T.O. to me is a better boxer than Camboso. So why even do it?
I think he was just out of shape. He knew
Me
he
too.
not out of shape. He was in good shape. I mean, you can't box 12 rounds and not be in good shape. But what I'm saying is he was not in tip top condition. I think that he had to cut a lot of weight at the very last moment, and he just his win was not there. It definitely was not there for him to expend that much energy in the
hmm
first second round. And he got caught in the first round too, didn't he? In that first round, he got knocked
Yeah,
down.
he got and he was dominating in that round, but that wasn't his fight. He don't ever fight like that. Presidential Jafar said, I don't rate T.O., but he has a decent punching power. True that. Lana Cox is in the building, was popping king. He said he tried to intimidate Cambosos, but that didn't work. True that. And Presidential Jafar said Wilder was fighting with emotions in the third fight as well. I'll give y'all that. But y'all look. Step lively when y'all in here talk about the king now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 100% Wilder. He just, I don't know.
Mhm,
What bothered me with that Wilder fight, I'll be honest with you, is that
mhm,
I didn't like the way that they kind of built this narrative about Fury doing all this, doing that, doing the other. And if he did it, he did it. Because I mean, at the end of the day, the guy's been known to cheat in the past. I mean, he's been caught doing unethical things when he boxes. So
mhm,
I didn't. I assumed that hey, because he has a history of that type of stuff, then of course it's very probable that he did it again in the Wilder fight. But when I saw Wilder come in the third fight the exact same way as he fought the second fight, that means after the first, second round, he's out of gas. When I saw that and he could not keep that jab going like he was before, in the
mhm,
third fight, jabbing him to the body, and then coming back up, jabbing him. He could not sustain his jab over 2 rounds, and he was breathing again, gulping water after the first round. It just kind of pissed
mhm,
me off because it's like, okay, you worked hard in regards to boxing and sparring and all that, but did you do your road work? Did you build your road work up to get your cardio right for the fight? And everyone says, "Oh, he did." I don't believe it. I just have a hard time believing that because you know, being in the military for 20 something years, uh, we had to run that PRT every 6 months. So I mean, when it came down to it, you either was ready cardiovascularly because you did your road work or you weren't. And the bottom line is, he looked to me like, he may have done a whole lot of other stuff, but he was not ready from a cardiovascular standpoint. Now, that's either a function of him not doing his road work, or he's got health problems. He's got something going on with his heart or his cardiovascular system that he needs to look into. But he was not cardiovascularly ready for that fight.
Well, we're gonna agree to disagree. We ain't gonna open up the can of Wilder and all that because I see all three fights differently, and I don't see
Uh-huh.
them as the same. But we'll agree to disagree. We just talking about
You
this
know
this
how I feel
weekend of
about
fights.
what happened to Wilder.
Y'all look, y'all better stay away from the wine bottles. Y'all know I love Wilder up in this piece. This Wilder country.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I
That's
think
what
Wilder now the heavyweight division is dead.
you know. What I give it to Black. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Now, you get Lionel Cox said, I've said it before, Wilder doesn't have the stamina. He was knocking people out so quickly, he was never tested. Lionel, we cuz. But you gonna have to stay away from the wine bottles too. Look, y'all, look. I don't know what it is about Wilder. I am biased in a sense, but I would never
Yeah.
lie. But I respect y'all opinions or whatever and all that. I just didn't want to open up the whole thing with Wilder and all because we all gonna disagree. In my opinion, y'all wouldn't like my opinion. How I saw all three of those fights, but I'm gonna live and let live, let go and
I
let
think that's
God. That's what I'm gonna do
I
with
think
that
that's
one.
the beautiful side. That's a
Huh?
beautiful side about women, Black women in particular, when it comes to standing up for Black men that they have an affinity to, or their sons or whatever. Is that it doesn't really matter. You can have Ray Ray go out and shoot somebody, and his mom saw him walk out the house with the gun, and come back in with a gun smoking, and she still say,
Mhm.
"My baby didn't do that." You understand? So I
Very
mean,
true.
it's just the truth. It's just it's a double edged sword. It's good on one side, but it kind of holds no accountability on the other, and I think that kind of ruins us if we don't have that male counterpart that says, "Okay, the truth is the truth. We're gonna live with this. We're gonna accept it, and move forward with the right correction." So, yeah,
Mhm.
Wilder, before he comes back to the ring, in my opinion, which I don't think he has to, but if he does come back, he needs to get that road work in and get his cardiovascular health right, because no, that's the reason why he lost the last two fights. If he was cardiovascularly ready, like he was when he fought Stavern that first fight, he would have beat Fury in both of those fights. And I'm talking about the second and the third fight. Steph, especially the third fight, because he had him, but he didn't have the win to finish him. So, um,
We could say coulda, woulda, shoulda, ifs and all that. And y'all know how I feel. I've said it many times on here, and not trying to be stifling to you guys, but it's a lot of factors when it comes to Wilder. If the ref would have called it right, if there was no cheating, y'all know what time it would have been. So that's why it's like I'm not gonna open up that can this weekend because I am biased when it comes to Wilder because he's shown me I need to be biased, and I'll admit that. But I will never lie for Wilder, and we all gonna have like difference of opinion. So I'm gonna agree to disagree, and we're gonna keep it moving with this weekend fight. So we was where we were was them going possibly to Australia, and
right,
again, all of us agree, all three of us agree that that's the rite of passage for the new crown king, which is George Cambosos.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I think we all agree that whether it's Shakur or Devin Haney, you better go down there and knock this cat out. You better hurt him, like Coach said, beyond a reasonable doubt,
right,
because you're gonna experience your first loss. That's just how
yeah.
I
It won't.
feel.
Yep, there won't be any close decisions. There won't be any close decisions that go the Shakur or Devin Haney's way. That's if he takes those fights. I'm not even sure he'll take those fights, but he's I got respect for the guy. I don't have a lot of respect for the country itself, Australia. I mean, or the continent. and the people who colonized that area down there. I have no respect for them, but the boxer that got in the ring the other night, I mean, he beat Telefimo up. He beat Lopez up, beat him up.
I mean, I don't know. I look at it a little different. You and Coach see it that way, but
Well, that's
to a
because
certain
Man, did you
Lopez is
see
overrated.
Lopez's face?
what
Lopez's
you
face
say,
tells the
Coach?
story.
He's overrated. I mean, Lomachenko
Yeah,
did the same damn thing to
he
him
is.
in about
Tank,
4 rounds. Like he ran for 7 and then jumped on the last part of the fight, and look how he beat him up. Look at his eye, closed his damn eye.
oh
He
yeah,
has
yeah.
no
He looked
defense.
he looked like he had a meat cleaver in his hand when he was. I mean, at the end of that fight, Lopez looked like somebody took a meat cleaver to his face.
And he's
I mean,
overrated, man. He's overrated.
yeah, he's
He's not
nuts.
that good of
He
a fighter.
got hurt at the end of the fight, guys.
No, I'm saying, but he's not
Here's
that
the
good of a
thing:
fighter.
Tank
He's
would have
not
knocked
one
him
of
out.
the best.
Tank would have finished him. He would have knocked him out. It'd have been easy
Listen,
work.
a healthy, well trained, in condition Lopez would have beat Cambosos. I feel like that's just how I see it. I ain't gonna say
I'm not gonna argue that,
yeah.
but
I just
the one that
I
fought
just
on
think
Saturday night didn't. The one that
he
fought on
That's
wasn't.
all
Saturday
I
night,
can go by.
Yeah.
you know, and the one that fought on Saturday night, if he would have fought Tank, Tank would have knocked
Mhm.
him out.
The
He
one I
knocked him
saw
out.
fighting is the same that fought Lomachenko.
Come on, coach.
He was a
That's
little
the
better.
same guy.
He's
Same
a little better when he
style,
fought
same
Lomachenko.
tempo, same. That's him.
Mm,
That's him. That's how he fights. He just
mm.
been matched right, and he landed. What's the African name that could fight good that he knocked out? He called me like
Comey
the
Uh,
with the
the
Comey.
beginning of the round. He
Comey,
called him and knocked him out. Um,
Comey.
yeah, Comey. Lopez can fight, man, but he's not what everybody think he is. And I hope that y'all see that now.
Mm.
Lomachenko showed you the
Oh, no
first time
question.
you didn't want to believe it, and then even though he lost the fight, he showed you what Teofimo Lopez could do and couldn't do. And then this
Yeah.
time you see, he couldn't do anything about it this time. That's why he
See, I
didn't want
Now,
never,
anything to do with Devin Haney.
I
I agree
never,
with Mr.
I,
Tito.
I never, I never said that. And I want to be clear. I'm never saying so y'all know, y'all in the chat as well, that Lopez was the bee's knees of boxing. He struck me as a great boxer, a good boxer, and whether we want to call it luck or not, but I feel like when he did have his fights, he came prepared, but he strikes me as a person who don't rely just on his power, but he has some fundamentals, and everything was just falling in his favor because he was being prepared. He was prepared when he got in the ring. Saturday night showed me, and nothing to take away from Camboso, because I will say Camboso wanted it more, and he was a better boxer. But I will not say that he outboxed T.O., and I will not say that he took it from T.O., which to me, I thought that's how it should be. I even said the same thing about Jamal Charlo and what's his name, Tony Harrison, when clearly Tony kind of outboxed him, but Jamal was hurting him. As coach would say, not everything was effective aggression, but Jamal was the aggressor and he was hurting him. And Tony, to me, did not take it from the champ. So I'm one of those people who be thinking like that, whether it's right or wrong. I mean, that's just how my mind be working. So that's why I say
Yeah.
that on a good day with T.O., Camboso could not win. I don't think so.
I think it would have been a better fight if Tio would have been a little bit more prepared, better prepared than he was. It would have been a better fight. But I think that guy was just, he was just too much. He was too much for him that night because of his lack of preparation. His lack of preparation, and he was a very good counterpuncher. And
Mhm.
Telefimo, he has a lot of holes in his defense. A
I-
lot of holes in his
mm,
defense. He holds his left hand extremely low, and he's not really good. He's really not good with that shoulder rope. So his
you
left hand is so low. I mean, I think Tank would have knocked him out in 4 or 5 rounds. He
probably
definitely would have made it. He definitely would have made it past 7 with Tank. No
Lana
way.
Cox. I'm sorry to interrupt. I got to get these chat. Lana Cox said, "Did you see where Lopez said that he was planning to vacate the belts to Haney and move up after he won the fight?" Yeah, and he kind of was like reluctantly saying it, but at the same time, like it's almost like I wish I'd have just did that and not listen to y'all motherfuckers. President Javard said T.O. rallied very well in the end, though. He did. He's also said T.O. problem is all mental. IMO, if his mind is right and he cannot perform. My bag, I'm on the slow uptake on the acronyms. IMO, somebody tell me what that means.
In my
Presidential
opinion.
farce. Huh? In my opinion. Okay.
In my opinion, yeah.
To problem is all mental. If he is not the right mind space, he cannot perform, and he got daddy issues. To wasn't ready, and I agree with all of y'all on that aspect. But I don't think he's an easy win. I think his power makes is respectable to all those guys. But we know that y'all feel like between Shakur and Devin that they better than T.O. Cool. I can agree with that to a certain extent,
And
or
Tank,
I ain't got no problem with it.
can stop
But
all three of
between
them.
the two of them, who is better, Shakur or Devin? Which one?
I got to give it to Shakur Stevenson.
Which one you got, Coach?
Shakur
Coach
Stevenson all day. Stevenson all
Shakur.
day is the best.
Then we all three agreed. We all three agreed because Devin can box. Oh my God, can he? So
Mm-hmm.
can Shakur, but Shakur got some
Shakur is
tricks
Now I
in
beast.
want
his
you to go.
bag.
Have you seen them against each other yet?
I think I've
I have.
seen some about a
I
Go on
saw
sparring.
two
YouTube.
It was so
sparring.
Go
long
on
ago.
YouTube. You'll see the video of them sparring against each other, and
Yeah, I saw it.
they both had their moments. They both had their moments. So we won't see that fight anytime soon, but we're going to see that fight. They will meet each other in the ring eventually.
Between the
Shakur is
two of them, but between the two of them, which one got more power?
I don't
Stevenson.
think either one of them really got no punching power. Like Stevenson
I
ain't
think,
no heavy hitter either,
man, Stevenson's coming into his man strength right now. That
but he
last
ain't no
fight he
puncher
had,
though.
I think if he just a matter if he sits down on them punches or not. If he sits down on his punches, he can
Mm-hmm. He,
he
to
can
me,
beat.
either one of them are no puncher. If Devin or Shakur are punchers.
Yeah, neither one of them are like Tank. You know, I think if you rank them, it'll be number 3 would be Devin, just because Devin is a hell of a boxer. I think
Mm-hmm.
he can box with just about anybody. But his defense when he throws punches, he's not in a position to defend himself consistently, and he can get caught. If you got a good counter puncher, you can catch him. Um, Stevenson, he's a really good boxer, and he's got great defense, and he's got a little power. The Tank maxes out in all three.
Dude, I thought you
He,
were gonna put. I thought you were gonna say Loma Chico. I was gonna be like, bye bye.
heck no, not even close. Lomachenko,
You just pull the
this is
plug.
anytime he won
Pull
some
a plug on this
any,
nigga,
good, you could have did that. Anytime if I said Lomachenko, I would expect you to do that. But
dude.
anytime that someone tells me something about Lomachenko, I bring up the fact that the guy's got less than 20 fights and 2 losses as a pro. So, come on.
Yeah,
I mean, the bottom line
they want
is,
to build him up.
yeah, he's overrated big time. I think
Lana
Tank,
Cox said,
Devin,
"You have to respect a fighter with power. He can change the punch." I agree, King. And Presidential Jafar says Shakur over Haney only slightly. That is a true 50-50 fight. That is the next Spence versus Bud. Ooh, I see that
I
too.
agree with that statement. I agree with that statement.
yeah,
Them boys
that'd be a
close.
good fight.
I'm gonna pick secure, but that's a close. Them boys. Watch that sparring match between them two. I
Hmm.
know it's just sparring, but you can see certain things in sparring, man. Them boys are sharp. Both of them super sharp. Devin too.
One thing about I don't know about Devin because I haven't really seen him sit down on his punches. Really, I haven't really seen it. I know if he hits you with some of those wild haymakers that he throws, that you can get you in trouble. but Secure Stevenson is coming into his man strength. The last time I saw him fight, he was sitting down on a few of them combinations, man, and I mean, you could hear that through, you know, he was crushing bones with some of them shots. So,
Me and Coach was at his last fight,
Yeah,
and
he's
I'm gonna
not.
tell you,
okay,
it's different to watching him in person than
uh-huh,
watching him on TV. The
yep,
boy got some tricks in the bag. You don't even be thinking, and he kind of played with old boy all night.
uh-huh,
He can box, but
That
I don't
nigga,
see no
wow,
yeah, he the
power.
goods. He the goods.
He gonna get you with accumulation. He gonna hit you. He hit you a lot of times, man. But if Shakur or Haney was like either one of them was punchers, as many times as they hit their opponents, because they catch you with clean shots. Like they're very precise with their shots. When you a puncher and you catching people like that, they don't be standing around for rounds and rounds and rounds and rounds. They go. So they beating on their opponents a lot, and they getting
no,
TKOs. They're not really getting no straight up KO stoppages where they
right,
catching people and sleeping them. I don't see them
right.
punching like that. But they have enough to get respect from you and to keep you at bay. They got enough to do that, but
All right,
they ain't no like one hitter quitters or nothing like that.
yeah. Well, not like
Mhm.
Tank. Hey, can you help me out? When you guys help me out, I mean, I know Tank had a belt at 130. He had one at 135. Then he got that one at 140. Now, did he drop the 130 and the 135, or just the 130? Which one did he
I,
get rid of?
I don't know.
140. I think once this fight happened, this gonna be the 140 that he dropped. I think that's how it was
Well,
supposed to go originally.
Just a one
well,
fight
Tank's
up
got
there.
three. So Tank's got three belts right now, right?
Nah,
He's
he
got a
don't.
130, he's got a 135, and a 140.
Mm-mm. He
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 did
has
have a three at
achieved
one
those
point.
goals,
He
but
had him
they
at
I
one
think
time.
he had to give them up.
Yeah, he
No,
definitely had him.
I mean,
his last.
he always have them on his shelf, but
No,
he
no,
don't because
no,
they
no.
was getting rid of the belts. This WBA, they
Right,
was getting rid of them shits.
right.
So
Okay,
he got rid of 130 and one. If he fight this time, the decision to decide 140 or 135 has to be made pretty much simultaneously as he have this fight this weekend.
okay. So he's fighting 135 this weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I know for a fact he had all three belts at one time. He had the 130 from Cruz, right?
But we got you. We got you, King, on that. But what I'm saying is,
And he had
when you say belts, we have to clarify. He didn't have regular belts. He had interim belts. We also know what WBA has been doing. They getting rid of those belts.
okay. So
So
when he fought Cruz and took that belt, like okay, his last fight at 140, he had all three 130, 135, and 140, all a belt in each one of those classes, each one of those weight classes. I'm curious on which one did he get rid of, or does he still have all three?
right now, like I said, the 130 is gone. He had to drop that. That just
He
happened
dropped the
not that long.
130. Okay,
He ain't making that weight no
But
more anyway.
yeah,
right. Okay,
and
okay,
but when he
okay.
picks, cause see, like right now, you can't say today, like which one you gonna keep or whatever. And I think it's kind of unfair for them to even come at him like that. But when he fights this fight, so it's like simultaneously, either right after, I want to say the day of, maybe weeks after, or somewhere around this time, he's gonna have to decide 135, 140. Those belts are going away anyway. You
Right.
guys are saying he got the regular belt, but Camboso got the WBA regular, right? What Camboso don't have is the WBC regular.
Right, right. Okay. All right.
So,
So hey,
but
go ahead.
he said Tank. Well, we read that part. Presidential Jafar said Chris Colbert is fighting for his 130 belt versus Roger Gutierrez, which Gutierrez has the real belt. So Chris Colbert is fighting him. I don't really fuck with that dude, but if Shakur beats his ass, I will be there for that. Lionel Cox said he dropped the 130. True that. And President Jafar said Tank had the 130 Super WBA, 135 is regular, 140 is regular WBA. But again,
Okay.
y'all, they getting rid of those belts. Like Josh Taylor is undisputed. So ain't nobody got no fucking belt, right? They had interim belts. They had, the WBA had all these goddamn belts. And it was just like getting to be a clusterfuck. And the WBA, after that, Michael Fox, they have done some house cleaning, some revamping. So they said, we're going to get rid of all these damn extracurricular belts. But the WBO didn't say that. The IBF didn't say that. And the WBC didn't say that. So just the WBA said that. So they're gonna be going. They're not really relevant as it is right now because of the new direction that the WBA is going with that.
So Tank's fight is pay-per-view, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I'm a huge Tank fan. Outside of Terrence Crawford, I think he's the best thing in boxing.
President should have fought. That's what I'm saying. They're getting rid of or gotten rid of all the interim belts, and he said not the regular belts, not the regular belts. True. What I'm saying is, T.O., what belt before T.O. fought Cambosa? Y'all answer this. What belt didn't he have?
Who you talking
Anybody
about?
in the chat?
Teofimo?
Because they saying like they have the regular belts, and I'm trying to say they were important belts until the belts that Tank got, and the 130, 135, and 140 were decent belts until the WBA decided that they're getting rid of all of those. So what I'm saying is, if Josh Taylor is undisputed, that means nobody has another belt. These were interim belts. Whatever they wanted to call them back then, they obviously want the main belt. So the WBA is saying we're getting rid of them. But that, that status, that ranking, I mean, of course you're going to still keep it. But they're making Tank choose between 135 and 140. That's the only thing I really don't understand. If he has that standing right there, hell, we watch Canelo go up and down everywhere. Then what's the point of making Tank choose between the two? I'm saying that originally that's what they were saying is going to happen. It remains to be seen if once the fight happens and after the fight, are they going to say, okay, Tank, which one? 135, 140, which one you want? I don't know how that's going to work out.
I think what someone was saying is that Tank has the regular 135 and 140 WBA. I don't know whether that's true or not, but I saw someone in the chat said that. But they're not the regular belts.
At this point, it is confusing, y'all. I even get confused, but like I said, T.O. was one belt shy away from being undisputed. Josh Taylor is undisputed. So all those extra belts, all them belts outside of that don't mean shit to me. If you undisputed, you undisputed.
Excuse me, T. I got to go. Y'all have
I feel you. I was going to say, Coach, you've been with us. You at your time limit.
I'm heading out.
How the baby doing? He wants your attention, right?
He tried. He was asleep. I woke him up.
Oh, you woke
up. Hey, who's gonna buy the fight
now?
Are you guys buying the fight?
I'll probably hit you back again.
Yeah. I appreciate you coming through, Coach. Always appreciate it.
No problem.
Y'all make sure y'all check out Coach at Knuckle Game.
Are you guys gonna buy the fight
this weekend? I probably will.
I don't know. I done bought too many fights.
Yeah, me too.
My case is gonna be $500, man.
Yeah, this is not the fight I want to see.
I don't have to buy the Devin Haney fight. I don't think. Ain't that on the Zone?
That's the Zone, yeah.
The Zone.
I don't have to buy that.
I got the Zone.
Yeah, I don't have to pay for that. But
the Hank
Tank,
fight,
yeah.
The Tank fight is the Tank fight is Showtime pay-per-view, I think.
Right, and I think Lomachenko the following week on the 11th, that's free. Like when I say free, y'all, if y'all already got Showtime and shit, then shit, y'all got it.
Ain't nobody trying to buy no Lomachenko fight.
I would never.
Trash.
Never.
The only reason I'm not buying a Tank fight is because he's not really fighting anybody. He's gonna watch this guy that you fight.
Oh, that's gonna be an exciting fight. We're gonna beat the shit out of him. But
yeah.
Let me go, because I'm an addict with boxing. Let me get off.
I know, right? Coach, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you.
All right, have a good night.
Good night. The on the 18th, I think it's the 18th or the 17th, whatever day, the Jake Paul, I'm buying that too. I'm buying that one.
Jake Paul against Mike
Uh,
Tyson?
no, he gonna fight Tommy Fury,
Oh no,
Tyson
I'm
Fury
definitely not.
brother. His
I'm not.
model. Look, I still don't believe that's his brother. He looked too cute for that. I hate. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't even say that. But he don't look like them. But
I
we know
can't
he
comment
has a
on all
different
that.
mother or whatever. But he don't look like them. I don't mean to talk like that. I'm sorry.
But
Demetrius Bright.
anyway,
He said, "Coach, throw the hands up."
all
And
right,
Presidential
Miss T,
Jafar.
thank you for having me.
All right, I appreciate you coming in, Kay.
I'm gonna roll out. All right.
All right. Presidential Jafar said Cambosos has 135 Super. WBA Josh Taylor has Super 140. Tank has a regular at 135 and 140. It's all confusing. Y'all know it's all confusing. Why y'all in here right now? Know what I need y'all to do? It'll make it for a great Christmas present. Smash the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Just a click away. Just bleep, bleep. Just hit it. Jump on it. Embrace it. Become one with it. Hit the like button for me. For all of y'all in Facebook, shout out to y'all. I'll see y'all after I get off. But come over here, click the live icon, and then once you get in, wipe your feet, smash the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Come on, y'all. Come on. Get it, get it, get it, get it. Level up, level up. But I do want to talk about something as we closing. Thank y'all for coming in and spending time with me and chopping it up with me. This was a great weekend. This weekend is going to be good. Y'all know I have advocated for Pitbull to fight somebody. I was calling for him to fight Devin Haney back in the day when nobody was fighting Devin Haney. And I kept saying, well, he'll fight you. He'll be your huckleberry or whatever. But that's why, I'm happy that he's getting this opportunity. He's from Mexico. I don't know much about this man. I just know what I like to happen in the boxing ring, he does. So shit, I like the guy. I'm going for Tank all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. But, I don't think it's going to be that easy for Tank. And I don't care if you're my favorite fighter. I will never be like, you should only get the easy fights. I want to see you challenge. I want to see you breeze through people. I want to see you make people look mediocre. Hey, it's fight. It's boxing. I love what's going on in the ring. I don't give a shit about that soap opera, kind of, sort of, outside the ring, unless it bleeds into the ring. And fuck with the shit that's going on in there. Presidential Jafar said Tommy Fury looks like a true gypsy. He do. And Tyson and them look like regular pilgrims. But so moving on, I want to say what I've been doing lately. In my spare time with the holidays, I actually was looking at the Ahmaud Arbery trial. I'm not gonna go in depth about it. I'm just gonna say a couple of things. I want to say shout outs to that district attorney. She did an excellent job. At first, when I was looking at the trial, I thought it kind of looked, just kind of unorganized a little bit. I know they had to change their seating arrangements because of COVID. Everybody's doing the best they can to keep things as normal as possible. So I'm not gonna be overly critical about how the whole courtroom was set up and the feed, like the television feed and all that stuff. It was kind of awkward. And I think that eventually they caught their stride. When I tell you, this trial made me think of, and I'm not finished with it. I'm actually at episode 10. If you go to try to look at it, it'll say opening statements, which of course is the beginning. Then it'll be like day 1, 2, 3, whatever. So I'm at 10, and it started on 9. And of course, I was mostly interested in the testimony of the people who's on trial. And so I was sitting through all that other stuff. That shit was a headache, man. It was very meticulous and boring. It wasn't like the George Floyd flowed. That thing was done like a movie. But this one, it's kind of like a makeshift courtroom, or like, a broken down version of kind of the profession. Now, I ain't gonna say professionalism, because everybody in there on both sides was professional. but like just how to set up. And I like the judge. He was laid back, cool. I like his attitude or whatever. Um, I don't look at him and say, oh, he was for one side or the other. I just look at a man who know his job and was like, yeah, I'll let you go with that. No, I don't let you go with that. But anywho, that district attorney, she came off as basic. I After watching and watching and watching, in my head, I was reminded of the joke that D.L. Hewley said a while back. And he said, and I'm not being racist when I say this, he said the most dangerous place for black people, but he said black man, but I'm going to say black people in this country is in the imagination, in the imagination of white people, you know. And at first when he said, I was like, what? I chuckled because it's DL. But, this trial exemplifies that to me. And I'm still in the middle of her cross-examining the Travis guy. She breaking his ass down. You hear me? And just this is the first part of all the stuff I've been watching where I actually see. I was like, oh, because all the other stuff was factual, and I can understand the stuff before it because it was so meticulous and boring, and just like, oh my God, each one of those guys, they did the trial together, and they had their own lawyers, and so at any moment, one of them lawyers could jump up and object or throw his 2 cents in, and every day when they started off the day, they had to argue back and forth about motions and suppress this or suppress that. At one point, they was arguing about why Al Sharpton was in the in the damn shit. So, in the end of the day, this woman, oh my God, shout outs to this prosecutor because she may come off, it ain't flashy, and all jiggy and all that. She was like straight across. But when she ready to go in for the kill, oh my God, that's what I'm seeing. Like Lana Cox said, Travis McMichael had no defense. Oh my God, the whole time I'm sitting there watching, because they want to put on trial about his experience in the Coast Guard and everything. And I'm like, well, when you get out the Coast Guard, like eight so years before this incident, or maybe 5-6 years before this incident. So what the Coast Guard got to do with today? Then when it was beautiful. When she said, what was your rank? It's like, this bitch is the bomb diggity. And the fact that she didn't go off and try to explain it more, because a lot of people know about the Navy, even if they don't think they know about it. It was a point of time, like everything you turned on TV, you couldn't go a whole day in your life looking at any TV at any point in anywhere in the country at any time and not see a Navy person or whatever, or Navy people are not incorporated into whatever story or movie you're looking at. So when she said, so you you made it to E4, and she showed, he wound up having to say the date, and he went, I don't know, some years. This is a Coast Guard. The Coast Guard, yo. And she was like, he only made it to E4 when he got out. So he was in a good, seemed like, I know, over 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, whatever, as a E4, and the highest he got was E4. Now, to the people who might not know, the Navy takes tests twice a year to determine your rank. Not everybody's successful. I wasn't that successful. I made it up to E6, and it was a lot of blackballing and tomfoolery and all that. I should have been made it past E6, but it didn't happen. So I'm not knocking people because they don't make rank, but E4, shout it. E4, when all is standing in your way is a test. And then they try to make it seem like he was just had this extensive background in law enforcement. Or boarding another ship is not the same as going to arrest somebody. So I don't even know why they brought that shit up. But to people who don't know, they wouldn't know. Lionel said retired E6. Me too, Pep. So I'm like, all this stuff that when she broke it down, and I kept saying to myself, when are you going to ask him at what point do he have positional authority over this man? and she did it in her own way. It was beautiful. I was like, wow, wow, because in his imagination, he seen himself as the savior. The ultimate pilgrim is saving fucking America from this derelict person, and it's in my hands. I've been entrusted with the authority to set shit straight down here in these parts. And then when he kept trying to tie Ahmaud Arbery name into some foolishness, some burglaries that might have happened, when she came back and said, according to the police, according to the facts, y'all only had one burglary a year. I was like, ooh. But every time he talked about it, he was the one in the building, in that house, and he could have stole something, you know. But yet they kept showing that even the person who owned the house don't believe that he stole something. Nobody has ever eluded that he stole something except them. Then he was like, she said, well, what did you say to him? He was like, I was saying, hey, what's going on? When they was chasing him and shit. And she said, in that tone, he said, yeah, in the regular tone, like, hey, what's going on? But he didn't stop. He didn't listen to me. Oh my God. She started writing stuff down on the board, and that's for special effects. And I'm telling you, shout outs to this district attorney. I don't ever want to be on the receiving end of no district attorney, not alone this woman. And so some people might not get it. I know it came off like a dry trial, but the stuff that was said, oh my God, this girl was putting on the show. And I can't wait to see the end of it, because I wanted to see how were they able to convict him against how come they couldn't convict Rittenhouse. But I didn't look at either trial, and that's more to do with me taking a break from the news period, because I was burnt out. I used to eat, sleep, and breathe this shit all day, every day. That's all I did. If I got in my car, I got extra satellite, so I'm listening to the news. If I'm in the house, it's on every channel in the house. I'm, just talking about, I'm conversing with friends who's in the politics. I was burnt the fuck out, and that's why I stopped in June to give myself a break. And I don't know when it's time to go back, but for right now, I just needed a break. You know what I'm saying? I've been going for decades, eating and breathing and sleeping and shit, becoming one with it. And so even with these trials, it wasn't going to make me turn to something that's similar to the news, but I just wanted to see how they came to their verdict of guilty. And now I see it. It is dry. If you look at it, you're gonna be like, oh shit. You're gonna want to fast forward. But I'm gonna tell you, if any part of it you gonna want to stop, just go to the part where his defense attorney, which was risque. I mean, I'm sure the defense attorney, if he could, he wouldn't have put him on the stand, because most of them don't do that, But maybe he felt at that point that he had to, because he got all these videos and this, that, and the other. But it was a risk, and she rope-a-doping the hell out this dude. She gets the belt for the best performance. To me, it might seem dry to y'all, but she was saying some important shit. She was dropping some nuggets, and that joke that DL Hughley craftedly said, that the danger for us is in the imagination of people's head. That shit exemplifies it so much. And so that's why I wanted to speak on it at the end. It's my platform. I had to take my chance and just put that out there, get it off my chest. As I tell y'all, say it with your chest. Lionel Cox said, I like the way she kept asking him at every point in the encounter. So you could have stopped, right? That couldn't, right? The couldn't you, but you didn't. Yeah, like she was basically like, hey, so when they did this, why didn't you say, hey, you know what? Because that's the whole point of, at what position of authority did you have over this man? Why did this white man think he had, and I have to bring it to race because he making it about race. She even pointed out there's things that happen with white folks, and he let it go. He ain't well, I ain't call the cops or whatever. But with this black guy, you couldn't let it go. Why was it your authority Or what positional authority did you have to handle this man? On what positional authority? You wasn't a cop. You was not acting in the capacity of the Coast Guard, and hell, y'all won't own no boat or water. Boarding a boat is different from trying to arrest a criminal or whatever. So I don't give a damn what training you may or may not have had. You ain't no cop. Neither was your daddy. But y'all was two pilgrims thinking that y'all gonna rectify the situation. And I mean, and that's how y'all thought. That's why I use the word pilgrims, because that's how y'all was thinking. It's your world. You own this shit, and he's an outsider. It's a free country. Regardless of what happened back in the day, it's a free country today. You know, so I don't know. I've never seen that like done that well. She showed him your imagination is the problem. It ain't Mr. Arbor. It ain't these, even the people that stole some out the whatever. Your imagination got the best of you, and you really thought you was gonna be justified in doing what you doing. And you took somebody and it's on video. Which I ain't see this part of her getting to it yet. When he said, "Stop, goddammit, I'll blow your head off." I don't know which one of them said that. But if you was in the Coast Guard and you was going through some kind of training or boarding, you know how to kill people. You probably a hunter. The doctor don't have, and the doctor even was like, where he shot him at, it's where some main veins and all you gotta do is know a little bit of anatomy to know where to hit somebody. We talk about it in boxing all the time. When you hit somebody behind the ear, like right up in there near their temple and shit, what happens? Equilibrium thought. I mean, it's so many things that we know people's pressure points and soft touches and whatever. He knew it too. But he thought he was gonna get away with it. And I wanted her to do that, and she did, and for that I'm grateful. And to anybody who watching this, you don't have positional authority. Not black people over white, not white over black. You don't have positional authority over anybody to be stopping them and asking them shit unless you are a cop. And if you a cop and your first go-to is to pull a gun, but only with a certain group of people, you're wrong. You're wrong. And it's just real easy to fix this problem. You got police doing the police brutality. We know that's a problem. We got other problems and all this stuff. Black on black crime. We got white on white crime. We got crime, period. We know we got to fix all this stuff. But we got to stop with this notion that you are superior, because that's what it is born out of. You're thinking you're superior to another person. I mean, we used to say something like, if in the Navy, you can't deal with some racism and all that. And shit, when I did, I was like, oh, you crossed that line. So I would say things like, well, how mighty white of you? Well, you can go ahead, petty officer, and how mighty white of you to let me go ahead? Who you think you are? This is not 1863. This is not 1825. Who the fuck are you? This is not when you landed on Plymouth Rock and you're the pilgrims or the settlers and you know what your agenda was, but they didn't know what your agenda was. Who are you? And just going further in the future to my white brothers and sisters, and yes, we all brothers and sisters. That shit nobody likes. People don't like that. You have no positional authority unless you do. If you're not law enforcement and you're not, somebody who has that positional authority, you just don't. Being a mom and dad over a grown person don't even make you have positional authority. His daddy, his mama don't have positional authority over him. What makes Travis McMichael and Greg McMichael and that Bryant guy, Rowdy Bryant, what makes y'all have positional authority? And neither one of y'all is working at a motherfucking law enforcement place. And she played that. and had him looking like he wanted to say humana humana humana. His lips was bald, like like real little like that. He didn't. I don't think he liked being in that position. She refuted and knocked down all that bullshit. Well, he was always in there, and stuff got stolen. Motherfucker, we been through this. He didn't steal shit. So now, what you talking about? Well, he looked like he was reaching in his pants. Well, here go a video of him. Is he reaching in his pants? Well, I'm just saying the totality. Oh, she broke his ass down. I was loving it. So now I'm starting to see how they did get their verdict because she was just that good. Michael Fuller, they were justified by the local law enforcement. Yeah, the local law enforcement tried to ride or die with them too until Georgia Bureau of Investigations got involved. Because they people got this notion. This goes to the Karens and the Kens of the world. I think they named the men the Kens now. You don't have positional authority. Stop it. This is why people got problems. Live your life. Enjoy what you got. Don't you know that, technically, if you want to be boastful about your life, you should welcome failures. If somebody's a failure, that means you're a success. Not quite like how I just said it, but if you are a success and these people over here are beneath you or failures, enjoy your success. That's for everybody of color. I don't care, white, black, yellow, purple. If you're a success, enjoy your success. Stop worrying about the failures. They gonna make you more successful. That's how you should look at it. A glass half full. But you have to feel that superiority thing. You got to stop it. It's to your detriment. And then they going to jail. And then the wife of Greg McMichael, she by herself now. My understanding that Travis has a son. He don't have no daddy on the streets. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things that got affected. You cannot just brush this grown man Aubrey under the rug. Should have mind your business. The dad said that I think the locals initially covered it up. They tried to. Even with the comment that one lady came in and she wasn't for them. I don't think she was against them, but she was a prosecutor witness, and she was talking about how she goes to visit her family every Sunday, and she said she saw him in the door and they didn't wave. She locked eyes with him. She saw him. He saw her, but she was like, I remember thinking, well, what is he here? But then she had to course correct herself. Well, wait a minute, don't be racist. Like, he could be here. I'm like, who thinks like that? I'm riding down the street. I see somebody in the empty house. I see somebody in the empty house. I don't care if you white, black, whatever. I just, the only thing that'll make me be like, why are you over here? Is if you're like, if you at somewhere where you ain't got no business being. And that I'm black. I could go in black neighborhoods and somebody could say, you ain't got no business over here. You a fish out of water. Or white neighborhoods or whatever. That's the only time I would think that. But not because it's in a residential, meaning because there's some inherent danger. Well, I would say, what are you doing over here? But I don't care what color you are. You looking in the house, that ain't my problem. Those people got setups and answers for anything and everything that could happen. They got insurance. They probably got cameras. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Now, if you standing in my doorway and I ain't invite you, then nigga, I got some questions. Lana Clark said, Glenn County, Georgia has a large law enforcement training facility and is heavily pro-police. The DA knew him and told him to go home and wash his hands. Then she stifled the investigation. Well, she ain't the one that's putting it on trial. I don't even know who that person is, but I don't think she the one putting it on trial. This woman who's doing the trial, and if she is, I stand corrected. But this woman who's doing the trial is doing a damn good job. You won't see her coming. I love the way she do her job. She just one of the people. It's not all the glam and glitz. She ain't trying to catch the clout. She just doing her job with her basic suits on. I love it because I'm sitting here like, and she's methodically breaking this motherfucker down, making him eat his words. And so I'm gonna finish that off. That's what I've been doing in my spare time. If y'all didn't see the trial, then that's the good part. But I looked at every day from the opening statement. There's some parts I fast forward because they just repeat it, and it's dry. I'm telling you, it's dry. But yeah, it was pretty good. Lionel said the DA has been charged now. See, you can't, like, today's time is too much technology. We ain't letting y'all get away with shit. Nobody. I don't care what color you are. Nobody. But they thought that they had positional authority. They thought they were superior, and that's why things happened the way it did with Ahmaud Arbery. And he knew it. He knew it was no point in talking to him. Why didn't he stop and talk to him? Y'all already made up your mind. The dude could see it. Y'all already made up your mind. The best he could do is run from y'all, and y'all still gunned him down in broad daylight, as if you have the superiority and the right or the positional authority to do so. That's the problem. Get that out your head. A lot of people will start getting along together. Y'all probably the only ones that think that in this country. And I ain't being racist when I say that, but y'all are more than likely, unless somebody can show me differently, y'all probably the only ones that think that y'all have positional authority over people because you have some sort of superiority. Y'all got to stop doing that so we can move on and get better. When we know better, we do better. And thank y'all for watching. And it was an interesting weekend. Don't forget the weekend is coming up. The one fight is on the zone. The other is pay-per-view on Sunday. That's the Tank fight. So a lot of y'all casuals that like Tank, y'all can buy this one. I mean, hell, if that's the only fight you're gonna have to buy this month. Jake Paul, that Triller event is coming up. That's gonna be probably exciting, and that's gonna be on the 18th. So pick your poison. The last time I bought a Triller event when I bought it in August, I want to say, I don't know for sure, but I want to say it was like $40 or $50, something like that. I can't remember, but it wasn't as much as a regular fight would be. So that'll be this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We should get some fights. We might even have some fights on Friday. So again, when you know better, you do better. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace. Thank y'all for watching.